Baseball on the Hyannis Harbor Hawk Baseball Network. We'd like to take time to thank the Cape Cod Baseball League's corporate sponsors, including Curry College. Curry College is where you go to become anything you want. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers with learning beyond the classroom. Explore undergraduate programs, NCAA Division III athletics, and continuing education and graduate studies, including fifth-year master's programs at curry.edu. Franklin Sports. The Hyannis Harbor Hawks would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again the proud official batting glove sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. Cape Cod, the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves. Thank you for tuning into today's game in the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network, where it's a great day. I'm broadcaster Drake Toll, and this is a broadcast.
I'm sideline reporter Bria Losick, and this is a broadcast of Hyannis Harbor Hawks baseball on the Hyannis Harbor Hawk Baseball Network. We'd like to take time to thank the Cape Cod Baseball League's corporate sponsors, including Cape Cod 5 Cent Saving Bank. Cape Cod 5 is proud to be a long-standing supporter of the Cape Cod Baseball League and its contribution to the local economy as a treasured summer attraction. Cape Cod 5 is a community bank serving customers throughout Cape Cod, the islands, and southeastern Massachusetts. Founded in 1855, the bank's mission is to enrich the lives of those it serves while contributing to the health and vitality of its communities. Cape Cod 5 provides a full range of banking solutions, including personal and business banking, residential mortgages, investment management, and trust services, and Coca-Cola Bottling of New England. Cape Cod Coca-Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Please remember to recycle your empty bottles, cans, and all other recyclable materials. Thank you for tuning in to today's game in the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network, where it's a great day to be a Hawk.
I'm broadcaster Austin Dakuda, and this is a broadcast of Hyannis Harbor Hawks baseball on the Hyannis Harbor Hawk Baseball Network. We'd like to take time to thank the Cape Cod Baseball League's corporate sponsors, including the Yawkey Foundation. Tom and Jean Yawkey were passionate about the game of baseball. Over their 7 decades as owners of the Boston Red Sox, the Yawkeys greatly invested in youth and amateur athletics in our community. They recognize the important skills baseball can bring to players both on and off the field: cooperation, respect, teamwork, friendships, and confidence. The Yawkey Foundation has been proud to support the Cape League for more than 25 years. The Better Business Bureau. The Better Business Bureau is partnering with the Cape Cod Baseball League this year to help you find a trusted business at bbb.org. Thank you for tuning into today's game in the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network, where it's a great day to be a Hawk.
And we are live from McKeon Park at Judy Walden Scarafile Field, the site of Game 1 of a 3-game Harbor Hawk homestand. I'm Drake Toll alongside Austin Dakuda and Zach Berman in the Tim Elser Broadcast Center as your 1-1-1 Hyannis Harbor Hawks meet the 1-1-1 Wareham Gatemen. Austin, after dropping the season opener at Wareham 2-1, tonight is about revenge for a Harbor Hawk team that feels like they should have won that game.
Well, they should have, Drake. They were the better team for most of the game. Brody McCullough started things off with 5 perfect innings, and the bullpen gave way and played pretty well. Only an error allowed the 2 Wareham runs to score, and the bats just couldn't get going. But now, 3 games into the year at 1-1-1, Hyannis pitching remains dominant, just 1 earned run on the season, and the bats are starting to pick it up.
You know, Zach, tonight we're going to see a new arm for Hyannis in this 4th game, and an arm that a lot of scouts even have talked about being one of the best on the Cape.
There's a lot of hype about Jackson Baumeister, and let me tell you, he was electric at Florida State this season. Comes in, Coach B.J. Johnson said his changeup, definitely something to watch today. And, I mean, look, we've been spoiled with Hawks starting pitching thus far this season. So, hey, may Baumeister continue the trend.
Take it down to the field for the national anthem.
What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly
Great stuff there, the national anthem. It's almost time for the first pitch at McKeon Park tonight. Hyannis and Wareham, the starting lineups for Wareham as they come to bat to open the ball game. Jack Hausinger, the shortstop's going to lead things off. Behind him, the left fielder Hogan Windish. Third baseman Max Anderson in the 3-hole at second base today. And the cleanup hitter Blake Wright. In center field, Ian Farrow. The right fielder, Kellum Clark. Connor O'Brien in the 7-hole and batting with first baseman and the catcher Peter Burns and designated hitter Tremaine Cobb Jr. Austin Peter Burns is a guy that gave the Hyannis Harbor Hawks a little bit of trouble in their last matchup, and you can certainly expect for him to be consistent today.
Well, he is as good of a backstop as there is in the Cape Cod Baseball League. Burns has experience here in the Cape, and he played last season with the Bourne Braves under manager Harvey Shapiro. Follows Shapiro here to Wareham for this season, and on opening day showed why he's the opening day catcher for the Gatemen. No pass balls, a really good game behind the dish. He is a fundamental defensive catcher and might just be the best defensive catcher in the Cape League.
But Zach, we've already talked about it. That who he's facing on the bump today is one of the best on the Cape. Baumeister with an opportunity to show himself. One of the top 50 players in the country as a freshman this past season coming out of high school. Jackson Baumeister is a force to be reckoned with, and his fastball is something else.
Hey, every pitcher we have seen start for the Hawks has had a great finishing touch. We saw McCullough with his fastball. We saw Ty Good with his 12-6 curve. Austin Amaral with some of his breaking stuff. We might have two great finishing pitches here for Jackson Baumeister. We've seen his fastball. We've seen his changeup. 6'4", 226 out of Jacksonville, Florida. Definitely, we have been told he could be the guy.
The defense behind Baumeister today, starting in left field, is Tito Flores. In center field, Cole McConnell. In right field, Philip Matulia. McConnell and Matulia, both from Louisiana Tech. Flores hailing from Michigan. The hot corner today is Rocco Pepe, moving in from left field to play third base out of Long Beach State. Dominic Patelli, the new shortstop today for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks from Miami. At second base, Mount Hood Community College's Riku Nishida. At first base, Nolan Shaniel from FAU, and behind the plate, Jacob Campbell of Illinois. Austin Jacob Campbell currently leads the team with a .400 batting average. You saw him pinch hit against Chatham as well. His bat was hot in night one, his first start against Orleans.
Well, him and Pancho Ruiz are the two catchers here for the Harbor Hawks, and it's rare to see two catchers of both the same ability. Two guys who are just equally as great behind the dish. Campbell, in his first start against Orleans, caught two-runner stealing, and guys, it wasn't particularly close on the base pass. He has a cannon, and at the dish, we showed with the two hits that he can do it both.
Jackson Baumeister is set for the first pitch of today's ball game. They'll face Jack Hausinger from Xavier, senior infielder who batted .290 this past season, had a .429 on-base percentage, and it's baseball time on Cape Cod. Jackson Baumeister sets for the first pitch of the game. He'll range from 91 to 93 with the fastball today, and this first pitch of the day is ball high. Right in the fastball there against Hausinger.
Hey, you did mention that before the game, the Hawks undefeated on Cape Cod.
Yeah, true. That is true. Wareham coming on Cape Cod for this game against Hyannis. 1-0 count for Baumeister. The pitch to Hausinger. That's a fastball called strike on the outer half of the plate. You'll see him utilize that pitch quite a bit. On a 1-1 count, too, he'll experiment with the changeup. Not the best off speed, but an overpowering fastball to make up for it. The 1-1. To Hausinger from Baumeister. There's a big cut and a miss, and now down 1-2. Baumeister in control.
Well, there you saw almost a little bit of movement. It was a fastball, but you did see just a little bit of a flutter coming towards the plate. Hausinger didn't really have much to do with it.
Big righty Baumeister sets for the 1-2 to Hausinger. Baumeister's got a ball high and outside. 2-2 the count even now with nobody out here at the top of the first inning.
Lots of fastballs early on from Baumeister, a guy who had 41 strikeouts in just 27 1/3 innings at Florida State. Still young, not a lot of innings under his belt, but somebody with great stuff, and you're going to get to see a lot of it here.
Jackson Baumeister, the 2-2 to the first batter of today's ball game. There's a ball just outside, and the count's full on Hausinger.
It's a good pitch, well placed, borderline call, but now you have the 3-2. Do you go back to that fastball?
Hausinger swings at the fastball high 83% of the time that he sees it. The payoff pitch to Hausinger. There's a ball high, eye level, and the first batter of the game reaches first base.
Still working to find that control. The walks were a problem for Baumeister with 20 and 27 in the third innings at Florida State, so a guy's still working on his control a little bit, but we'll see if he can settle in a bit. Sometimes your first batter, and I think that's a trend we've seen through the first couple of games. First batter of the game has reached base, and I believe all 3 of the Harbor Hawk games so far.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we talked about Ty Good the last time we were at McKee, and the first batter he saw of the game was a walk as well, and then cleaned things up for the next few innings and charged 5 strikeouts in that one. As Hogan Windish, the starting left fielder and the second batter of the game, comes to the plate for Wareham.
I mean, at the end of the day, as much as these guys are here to win, the real objective on the Cape is to get better, to improve.
First pitch to Windish, another fastball well outside of the zone, high and outside. 1-0, Windish ahead early. Windish, a .370 batter from UNC Greensboro. .485 OBP. The 1-0 from Baumeister. Checks the runner, throws, off-speed pitch, just misses low. But you saw there what he can do with a little bit of movement coming from the inside out.
You got to keep an eye on Hausinger over at first base. He was 12 for 15 in stolen bases this season at Xavier. Keep a close eye on him.
But is he willing to test the cannon of an arm that Jacob Campbell possesses behind the dish?
Orleans was more than willing to test it. We'll see if Wareham is as well today.
2-0 pitch is another breaking ball. This one misses low and outside. Now 3-0. Windish way ahead with a runner on first. Nobody out. No score here in the top of the first. Hyannis and Wareham. Baumeister with the big frame. Sets again on the 3-0. There's a called ball high. That one just missing up out of the zone. And now 2 on, nobody out, and the 3-hole hitter steps the plate for Wareham in Max Anderson.
Well, the good news for Baumeister is he has a great defense behind him here, guys. Even though there's nobody out, 2 guys on, that'll prompt the mound visit as well. But you can trust his defense, see what's going on with him here, and maybe get on track with this at-bat.
You mentioned it too, Jackson Baumeister had some struggles with the control last season at Florida State, and that's one of the concerns coming into this summer. And we talked about how Mazdak Darvari, Nick Johnson, the GM Director of Operations, recruited this team for guys that pump the zone hard. Baumeister wasn't necessarily considered that at Florida State. You know, Zach, the nerves are high when you're playing your first game on the Cape.
Oh, of course. And you can say that, hey, I'm not going to act like I wasn't nervous getting on the mic for the first time out here. It's a special place. There's a lot of prestige. And, you know, for a guy to step on the mound maybe in front of some scouts or a nice crowd like we have here tonight, a little bit of nerves. But, hey, Baumeister's got the stuff to get out of this. And let's see if he can dig deep here and work out of some trouble early.
Hopefully he can. He's facing former Big Ten Freshman of the Year in Max Anderson from Nebraska.
A very tough out as well. Has Cape League experience under his belt.
First pitch to Anderson. That's a ball called high. Just above belt level, too. What we're seeing from the home plate umpire is
tight zone.
Yeah.
Some of these pitches have not missed by much.
No, not at all. Baumeister. The 1-0 pitch. The 3-hole Max Anderson with a runner on first and second. Deals. Big cut and a miss from Anderson. And leaving the count at 1-1.
Well, that's a little bit more what you're looking for out of Jackson Baumeister. Nice fastball outside part of the plate. Looked like Anderson was looking more inside part of the plate and was caught waving.
2 on, nobody out here in the top of the first for Wareham. Baumeister moving to the stretch. Checks Hausinger at second. A long stare, and now he deals. There's an off-speed pitch that falls neatly into the zone. Called strike, now 1-2, Baumeister ahead.
That's a big-time pitch right there by Baumeister, and it shows you the confidence he has in his secondary pitches. To throw it after you've walked the first 2 batters of the game, you're in a 1-1 count, so it shows you that he really does trust in his off-speed stuff as well.
1-2 count. 6'4" righty sets. Checks to second base. The long stare, now the delivery. There's a swing and a cut. This one near shortstop, out of the diving reach of Patelli. There's a slip and a fall at third base for Hausinger, who's going to have to stay put. And the bases will be loaded now. You thought Hausinger had a shot to go home there, but he fell at third base. Relay came in cleanly from left field, and now there's 3 on. And the 4-hole hitter, Blake Wright, coming to the plate.
Almost looked like it could have been a blessing in disguise for Wareham because Flores was loading up the cannon, was a good relay, and Hausinger might have been out at the plate.
Well, it's interesting to see how Coach Beatty plays it here with nobody out, first inning, bases loaded. In this situation, you're likely going to trade 2 for 1, try to get a double play and allow the run to score if you need to.
You're bringing the corners in, but leaving the middle infield out. First pitch, a swing and a miss on a fastball low and inside. Blake Wright down to the count 0-1 early. Wright, a product of Clemson. Sophomore who hit .352 last season with a .398 on-base percentage.
It's a good pitch. Has some run on that fastball, too, inside to right-handers.
The 0-1 with the bases juiced and nobody out here in the top of the first inning. Ballmeister sets and deals. There's a pitch that just misses a little high, but looked like it was on line with the plate. And like as we've said, as we're seeing, tight zone early. Bases juiced, the 1-1 to Blake Wright. Ballmeister now back in the windup, dealing in right. Lucky to foul that one off back behind him. Down to the count 1-2 of the 4 batters that Ballmeister has seen here early. He's gotten ahead 1-2 on 3 of them.
It's a tough break as you wind up walking a guy on a couple close pitches in the leadoff spot, and then Anderson, you get a ground ball out of him that just goes past the diving glove of Patelli. Curious to see if it's a hard enough hit ground ball. Do they go home?
Yeah. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The 4-hole hitter Wright. Ballmeister deals. Wright watches one high, wanted a swing, laid off, and now 2-2.
That's a good job by Wright laying off. I thought he was just about certain to go around. That takes a lot of strength to pull back on a pitch like that, especially when you're like where Wright is and hunting fastball.
2-2 count. The righty deals. There's a nice off-speed hit into center field. For a hit, it is down, recovered by McConnell. McConnell dishes it in. 1 run will score. The other's coming home. That is 2 in for Wareham here with nobody out, and now runners on the corners after the single from Blake Wright.
Well, that's just a hanging off-speed pitch, right? It caught way too much of the plate there by Ballmeister, and a guy like Blake Wright who has the talent and the strength that he does is not going to miss that pitch, and he did a great job of just not trying to do too much with it and taking it the other way to right center, and a just well-placed ball that scores 2.
Tell you what, guys, there's Lonely, and then there's standing on the bump on Cape Cod with nobody out, 2 runs across, runners still on the corners here, and Ian Farrow at the plate.
It's a tough spot for sure, but he's got the talent to work himself out of further damage.
Farrow, Florida Gulf Coast kid, transferring to Miami next season. Ballmeister with a look to first. Now sets in the first pitch to Farrow. That one's a ball outside on the fastball.
A little bit of action down the left field line of the Harbor Hawk bullpen, left-hander, getting loose, beginning to stretch and throw.
Blake Wright stands at first base.
Got to wonder if he's going to get the green light at some point in this at-bat, too.
Max Anderson at third, Ian Farrow at the plate. Next pitch to Farrow. There's a called strike on the inside. And I think that's the fastball power we've been looking for from Jackson Ballmeister.
I mean, we've seen it during this first inning. It's not that his stuff hasn't been great. It's been pretty good. But like you mentioned, the tight zone has played an impact. And, hey, you're getting ground balls, and sometimes they're just not put in the right spot.
Ian Farrow with the man 90 feet away and nobody out here. A 2-0 lead for Wareham at the top of the first inning. Ballmeister goes changeup outside, called strike, now 1-2, ahead in the count again.
Big at-bat here and a big pitch coming up for Ballmeister. You have to put somebody away now. He's lost a couple of guys on 1 and 2. Now's your chance to get the first out of the inning on the board.
Farrow, 21 home runs this season at Florida Gulf Coast. Ballmeister looks to first, checks Blake Wright. Now from the stretch, the 1-2. There's one cut on, a hit to left field. It's down, recovered by the left fielder and thrown in cleanly by Tito Flores. It'll save runners at first and second, but a run does score via Max Anderson.
So Ballmeister's been going to that breaking ball in these 1-2 counts to try and get guys to bite on the changeup. And both these last 2 at-bats, he's hung it over too much of the plate. Nice job by Farrow to wait out the pitch. Not, like you said, with Wright, not try and do too much with it. Obviously, with these wood bats, the power is not going to be there like it is maybe back at school with an aluminum bat. Nice job by Farrow, lay some wood on it, bring another run home.
And That's the adjustment you're now seeing. We're now 4 games in, Zach. They're starting to make those adjustments with the wood.
There's a high fastball out of the zone and a 1-0 count on Kellum Clark. Clark is the 6th batter of the game that Baumeister's seen. From Mississippi State, a guy that didn't play in the opener between Wareham and Hyannis, a 2-1 final and a win for the Gatemen in that one. Baumeister gets a call he likes from Campbell. Sets and checks second base where Blake Wright stands. The pitch, this one's lined to right field. It's a hit again. This one could be extra bases. It's back to the wall. Wright's going to score easily. Into second base, standing up, goes Kellum Clark, and landing at third base safely is Ian Farrow standing up as well. So now 2 on in scoring position and still nobody out in a 4-0 ball game at the top of the first for Wareham.
Yeah, Kellum Clark making his return to Cape Cod, spent the 2021 season with Wareham as well, and has wasted no time welcoming himself to McKeon Park for this season.
Another breaking ball winds up catching a little bit too much of the plate, and just an astute observation, I don't think this game is going to go 2 hours, 6 minutes like the last game between these two teams did.
No, probably not, as Jacob Campbell, the catcher today from Illinois, goes out to talk to Baumeister. Those two will meet on the mound, and there is action. Looks like Magdal Cotto is up and throwing in the Hyannis Harbor Hawk pen. I'll tell you, here's an interesting stat. Hyannis this season, make it Wareham this season, has 8 hits coming into today. They have just 4 here in the first inning.
With no outs recorded.
Yeah, the bats got a little bit hot today, it seems, carrying over from BP for the Gatemen, but Baumeister's missed with a couple of pitches, and they've just made those adjustments. We talked so much the first couple of games about adjusting from metal to wood, and I think you're seeing it a lot in this game. The guys are starting to pick it up, shortening their swings a bit, and not trying to do too much with the baseball.
Well, that'll do it for Jackson Baumeister. His day will end, and he will still be in charge of 2 runners at first base and second base, as Kellum Clark and Ian Farrow are still on the base path. Baumeister's day is done, and Magdal Cotto comes out of the bullpen. With that, we'll take a break here. The score, Wareham 4, your Harbor Hawks 0 with nobody out here in the top of the first inning on the Hyannis Harbor Hawk Baseball Network. Hyannis Harbor Hawk Baseball Network. We'd like to take time to thank the Cape Cod Baseball League's corporate sponsors, including Coca-Cola Bottling of New England. Cape Cod Coca-Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod Coca-Cola has been proudly refreshing the community for over 30 years, and we're honored to support the CCBL and many other wonderful organizations on the Cape. Fairway Financial. Fairway Financial is a proud national sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. If you want to hit a home run with your retirement income plan, visit fairwayfinancial.net and ask for owner and host family sponsor Steve Enzwoni, Cape Cod's retirement income specialist. That's fairwayfinancial.net. Thank you for tuning in to today's game in the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network, where it's a great day to be a Hawk. Well, here's a familiar face for both the Hyannis Harbor Hawks and the Wareham Gatemen as Magdal Cotto comes into the game. And he'll face Connor O'Brien, Peter Burns, and Tremaine Cobb Jr. for Wareham. But Magdal Cotto, solid outing in his first and his second action, Zach, on Cape.
Well, before we get into Cotto, I just do want to mention something that caught my eye as Baumeister took the trot off the bump. And you don't really see this a lot in baseball. It really just says something about, the makeup of this team and how these guys have each other's backs. A guy like Baumeister comes in high hopes, doesn't necessarily have the best first outing, and yet the whole team comes out, gives him a little pat on the back, some encouragement as he goes into the dugout. And that really does say something about the characters and the way this team is built.
Yeah, it's obviously not the ideal start to the season for Baumeister, but having that positive reassurance from your teammates definitely makes it easier for him coming back, and he'll get another start, and I'm sure it'll be much improved. And unfortunately for him, he wasn't bad at all, guys, tonight. He just missed a couple of pitches. He was ahead of guys in the count, just struggled to put him away, but we'll see if Cotto and the bullpen can pick him up.
Lefty Magdal Cotto comes in a tough situation with the runner at second and a runner at third. First batter he sees is Connor O'Brien as the first pitch he throws him is low and inside. This season, Cotto, 1 inning under his belt, has allowed 1 hit but struck out 3. Cotto's got Kellum Clark at second base, Ian Farrow at third. First base is free. With nobody out here in the top of the first. Cotto, fastball overpowering a swing and a miss from Connor O'Brien.
That's the stuff you expect to see from Cotto. His fastball is fantastic. We saw so much of it back across the canal in Wareham, but good to see that he just has the same amount of zip on it as he did a couple days ago.
It's a 1-1 pitch to O'Brien. Cotto gets to fend one off into the net behind us. Now a 1-2 count. Magdel Cotto ahead.
And where my mind immediately drifts is, regardless of how this inning ends, we haven't seen the Harbor Hawk offense be put in a situation where they're down several runs to start a game and they need to scratch and claw their way back in. So I'm curious to see, once we shift to the bottom of the frame, whenever that is, how the offense will respond.
Cotto, the 1-2 to O'Brien. O'Brien fouls this one off, stays alive, out of play to the right side. Magdel Cotto has a fastball that has been clocked as high as 99 miles an hour this season.
It's electric, to say the least. And, I mean, from the left-handed side with his delivery, it is deceptive as well.
The 1-2, his fourth pitch to O'Brien. A big cut and a miss. May have got a piece of that one, but Campbell's got it in the mitt, and that's the first out of the top of the first inning. Magdel Cotto has now struck out 4 batters in 1 1/3 this season.
I'm not sure what the radar gun had it here because we're not getting numbers yet, but I can confirm to you that the radar gun in Chatham had that at a blazing 109 miles an hour.
And the radar gun in Chatham's never wrong, Tech Bourbon. It's
No,
never wrong.
It is never wrong.
Peter Burns out of Nebraska will step the plate. Burns, the catcher today for Wareham. Caught the first game these two teams played against one another, as the first pitch he sees from Magdel Cotto is a called strike on the outside.
Shout out to the radar gun in Chatham. We had a pitch go 7 miles an hour in that game.
That's legendary.
Even I can throw faster than 7 miles an hour. I'm not sure where my fastball tops out. Honestly, I don't want to know.
Mag Cotto waves off a couple from Campbell. Gets a call that he likes. The 0-1. There's a cut and a ball fouled off to the right side. Now 0-2. Cotto ahead. Still has a runner on second. A runner on third here. 2 in scoring position with 1 out and a 4-0 Wareham lead in the top of the first inning. Peter Burns, .295 average in Nebraska this season. .344 OBP. 10 home runs. Swiped a couple of bags too. The 0-2 from Magdel Cotto. Swing and a miss on a high fastball and another solid pitch from Magdel Cotto.
That's a great spot to go to there on the 0-2 count. And for Cotto, his fastball being in the upper 90s makes that nearly unhittable when it's above the letters.
That'll bring up the 9-hole hitter, Tremaine Cobb Jr. from Hartford. Tremaine Cobb Jr., the designated hitter for Wareham today. Didn't see him in that very first matchup across. That wasn't on the Cape, was it?
Across the canal.
First pitch from Cotto is a called strike on the inside half of the plate. Tremaine Cobb Jr., .305 average this season, 10 home runs, 13 doubles. At Hartford, and Austin, you mentioned before the game today, Hartford dropping down to Division III. Tough place to stay.
Yeah, it's disappointing for the guys that had committed to that program. I know a couple people actually who were going to head there and play baseball at one point, but had to switch elsewhere. And for these guys, a lot of them entering the transfer portal, I mean, they're going to be a good Division III school, but unfortunately, for some of these guys who had committed and thought they were committing to a 4-year Division I program, they're now left in a sticky situation.
Well,
Magdel
I'm sure
Cotto?
in Cobb's case, go off, catch some eyes. You never know where that could lead you.
0-2 count to Tremaine Cobb Jr. He fouls off another to the right side. Cotto has now thrown 11 pitches, 10 of those 11 for strikes in this ball game. Coming in a not the best situation, that is, too, with the runner on second and third.
Isn't that the Mazdak Darvari, Nick Johnson school of we want guys that can just pound the strike zone? That's what Magdel Cotto has done. He did it last time in Wareham, and he's doing it tonight.
Magdel Cotto still ahead 0-2 here to Cobb Jr. He's got a ball in the dirt. Plays that one away. Standing at second base right now for Wareham.
That's a great block by Jacob Campbell. That is a tricky pitch to corral, and that very easily could have resulted in a 5th run.
Yeah, it's Kellum Clark at second, Connor O'Brien at third. Magdel Cotto trying to get out of a jam here and salvage what he can.
Got to think he goes back to that power fastball here. It's its best pitch, and, well, 1-2, 2 outs, and 2 in scoring position. You need his best.
Kodo, the 1-2 to Cobb Jr. This one's hit near Riku Nishida, and about the easiest play that Riku's ever made. He's got the grab, and that's the third out. Magdal Kodo comes in after Wareham scores 4 runs with nobody out and shuts down the only 3 batters that he sees. Your score, Wareham 4. Harbor Hawks 0, but the bottom of the first is coming up with Nolan Shaniel, Justin Hyannis, and Rocco Pepe when we come back on the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network.
We're fine. We're chilling.
Check it. We're going to send it to Bria Losick, the pregame shot.
Back at McKeon Park today alongside Dominic Patelli from Miami, who just came in and is in the starting lineup for the first time tonight. Dominic, what's your pregame routine like?
Well, right now you just saw me. I was on my phone, so I don't really do much. But we just hit and we got our ground ball work done, and that's about it, really. I got no superstitions.
And then this year you were featured in Sports Center's Top 10 for an amazing catch at shortstop. What was it like being on ESPN, and were there a lot of family and friends kind of asking you about it?
No, yeah, it was cool. They were all asking me about it. I didn't know, and they were telling me during the middle of the game, like while I'm on deck and stuff, but it was definitely really cool.
Are you looking to make more plays like that up here on the Cape?
Hopefully, yes, hopefully.
So what are your goals this summer?
Definitely to get a lot stronger and just to work on hitting. Defense, I think I'm fine defensively. Obviously, I can get work on, but just to work on hitting and getting bigger in the gym.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
From McKeon Park, I'm Bria Losick, Harbor Hawks Baseball Network. Back at McKeon.
Podcast.
Back at
Side Austin Dakuda, Zach Berman, Bria Losick, our producers Abby Stokes and Ella Gibson. And it's Jacob Cravey on the mound for Wareham today with a 4-0 lead. And, you know, Zach, it's pretty easy to feel comfortable when you got that kind of cushion coming in.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is what Cravey's coming in with. The rising junior out of Andalusia, Alabama, down at Samford University. Had a solid season, 15 starts, a record of 5-3 with a 4.03 ERA. Got strikeout stuff, 71 strikeouts in just over 82 innings pitched. He struck out 5 or more batters 8 times this season. He did once strike out 9 in 6 innings of action against East Tennessee State last month.
Well, he'll have to deal with Nolan Shaniel, a new leadoff hitter for Hyannis as Riku Nishida has been moved to the 9-hole. Shaniel picked up his first hit of the season against Chatham in the game on Tuesday. The first pitch that he sees, the fastball, called strike. Shaniel 1 for 13 so far this season. I asked him today, I said, Nolan, 1 for 13. That was the question. And he responded, I know, I feel good today. And there, he's got a hit to right field.
2 for 14, there you go.
And knocks that one just past the glove of the first baseman, and a single to start the game on the second pitch that he sees.
We've seen Harbor Hawks get on base, especially in the earlier innings, like starting out in Chatham on Tuesday. First 2 guys reach base, you don't get anything out of it. We, or at least we as in the Harbor Hawks, need to start getting those guys home as opposed to, stranding guys in the base paths, especially when you're down 4 out of the gate. Got to take advantage of those opportunities. This is a pitcher's league. You're only going to get so many of them.
I'll accept we. Justin Hyannis stands in now. Hyannis 3 for 11 on the young season for Hyannis. First pitch he sees is fouled off to our left. Hyannis, a designated hitter today. One of the better bats for Hyannis early, Austin.
Yeah, Hyannis is a guy who has a lot of talent, right? He comes in from Illinois, had a stellar season there. Comes in, a couple of hits here and there, and a good glove to go with it. But you're really yet to see what Justin Hyannis can do. It's gap-to-gap power.
Hyannis will bounce one up the middle. Shortstop covers. The throw to second's in time. The throw to first, not in time. Hyannis will be safe there. Shaniel called out at 2, and with 1 out on the fielder's choice, Rocco Pepe will come to the plate. What a play there from Hausinger on the ground to flip it to the second baseman, Blake Wright.
I wasn't sure if he was going to get the 1. They almost got the 2.
Yeah. Really impressive play. And now you bring up Juice Rabbit. That's Rocco Pepe from Long Beach State. The Juice this season, one of the top batting averages on the team, has 4 hits on the year. The only home run for Hyannis. Cravey sets with a man at first base, and Pepe up now. The first pitch to Rocco Pepe's a ball well outside and low.
How do you manage psychologically when you're not hitting the ball well in the first 3 games? This is going for the entire team, and now all of a sudden you're down 4. The Hawks have not scored 4 in a game yet this season.
Well, it puts a lot of pressure on you to score those runs and to hit the ball. As is A called strike with a fastball on the outside half the plate. A 1-1 count with one out here in the bottom of the first inning. It is Justin Hyannis standing at first base. A lone runner on here for Hyannis, and Rocco Pepe at the plate. O'Brien will make that Cravey will skip one in the dirt for a ball. Now a 2-1 count, and Pepe's ahead.
Well, there's Peter Burns behind the dish. I mean, nothing better than Peter Burns blocking a baseball like that. Sliding over a couple feet to his right prevents the runner from advancing from first to second, and that's the benefit you have of having such a talented defensive catcher like Burns.
Borderline absurd how quickly he was to be able to read that ball.
2 balls and 1 strike. The pitch from Cravey. That one's low and in the dirt. A good eye from Rocco Pepe. Pepe ahead 3-1 now. A magical count. I'm not sure if he likes that as much as he does 3-0, though.
That's almost a better scoop than the last play by Burns. He almost read that like a shortstop.
Well, Pepe's probably going to get a fastball here, and we know what he does when he gets a good fastball.
Yep, even on 3-0 counts. 3-1 to Pepe. Pepe fouls one off behind him. Count runs full. Rocco 4 for 12 this year. 2 RBI, the only Harbor Hawk with multiple RBI on the young season.
Well, he was sitting fastball there in the 3-2 and the 3-1, just missed it. You wonder, Cravey, if he goes to the breaking ball here. I'm sure at this point you've already seen the gate men once, and I mean pitchers talk to each other. They'll be able to read after a certain amount of innings.
Payoff pitch from Cravey. Pepe's going to foul that one off behind him and out of play again into car territory here at McKeon Park.
There's a breaking ball, so nice job by Rocco to stay ahead of it.
Pepe will fend it off. Behind him in the lineup, if you get through him, you have to deal with Cole McConnell and then Jacob Campbell behind McConnell. Pepe awaits the payoff pitch. That's a ball low, and Rocco Pepe will be on base. There's 2 on and 1 out here in the bottom of the first inning. You bring up your 4-hole hitter for Hyannis, Cole McConnell, center fielder from Louisiana Tech.
Some trouble locating the fastball there on the full count pitch. Just pulled it a little bit down in the zone. And now if you're the Harbor Hawks, you got something cooking here. 1 out, first and second here. And you have to get a run in this situation, guys. Already down 4. It's going to be big for your bats to get something across early in a ball game.
Cole McConnell looking for his very first hit of the young season, 0 for 6 in total. One of the guys that came up late, played in the Austin Regional with his Louisiana Tech Bulldogs. He'll take the first pitch, ball outside on the off speed.
I mean, wouldn't it be nice if the Hawks could just respond out of the gate with a crooked number?
It'd be huge. They need an inning like that to get the bats going a bit, but it's still such an adjustment early in the season that you can't really expect them to come out and put up multiple runs early.
Next pitch, McConnell sees another off speed. This one settles in for a strike. It's a 1-1 count. Things are even. McConnell has played now 3 seasons at Louisiana Tech. Played in 64 games this past year. .336 batting average, a .417 OBP. McConnell in total had 9 home runs and 76 RBI. That's a pretty good year.
I'd say so.
1-1 to McConnell. This one he fouls off behind him to the left. And if there's one thing we've learned today, guys, it's that 1-2 counts means something good for the hitter, and hopefully that still applies here for McConnell.
We saw it a bunch in the top half of the first inning, and now for McConnell, he's used to counts like this. He's a guy who hits good late in the count at bats, and a guy who produces a lot of runs. Even though he only had the 9 homers, the 72 runs batted in are the reason that he's a cleanup hitter, a guy who hits a lot of doubles and just knows how to get the run home.
McConnell awaiting the 1-2. The pitch from Cravey, a big cut and a miss on a really good curveball, will sit down Cole McConnell. And now with 2 outs and 2 on, the Harbor Hawks bring up their 5-hole hitter in Jacob Campbell.
That's a great pitch there by Cravey, able to locate that low fastball. And once again, good job by the catcher, Peter Burns, able to call that one out, locate it perfectly, and maybe some 2-out magic.
Jacob Campbell leads the team in batting average this season. Only a couple of hits, but 2 for 5 on the young season.
Well, statistically, he's the guy you want up in this situation.
Yeah. First pitch that he sees, a fastball high, eye level, lays off, and it's 1-0. He's ahead early.
Not a lot of wind today here at McKeon Park.
No.
Flag's dancing around just a bit, but nothing that's going to affect the ball once it leaves the bat.
We're expecting wind tomorrow, not tonight.
Just a little bit coming out to the left. As the 1-0 to Campbell's a ball high.
Great take there by Campbell. He knows from being behind the plate in the top half of the first that you're not going to get the high strike today. Even at the letters, you're not going to get the high strike. It has to be below the name Harbor Hawks on that uniform, and right around the belt is where the highest we've seen that strike call today.
Campbell at a .257 batting average last year for Illinois. 8 home runs on the season. Takes a fastball for a strike outside.
Now, 2-1 here. He's been using that breaking ball even when he's behind in the count a bit, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Cravey go back to that pitch.
Harbor Hawks trailing 4-0 in the bottom of the first. 2 out and 2 on. Jacob Campbell ahead 2-1. The pitch from Cravey. This one's another fastball high, fouled off to our right. The count evens at 2-all.
Nothing you could do about that one. Well-located pitch, just had to fend it away. And wouldn't surprise me if Cravey goes back to that curveball again, tries to see if, he can get a guy like Campbell to hack at it.
Harbor Hawks trying to pick up something here. You can tack on a run. You'll be in okay shape. Still down, but at least with a bit more momentum. The 2-2 from Cravey. That one's a breaking ball that just missed outside. When I say missed, it wasn't by much.
Yeah, it probably came across the plate in the zone. It ended up in the mitt, just a baseball width, I guess, off the plate. It wasn't off by much, but that's a catcher's take right there. That's a pitch that catchers know the zone and might get the call because he's behind the plate.
3-2 count to Jacob Campbell. The pitch, Campbell skies one into right field. Going back's Clark. Camps makes the catch, and that's the third out of the bottom of the first inning. With Hyannis on second base, Rocco Pepe on first. Hyannis Harbor Hawks nothing doing in the bottom of the first. Your score, Wareham 4, Hyannis 0. We take it to the top of the second inning and the top of the Wareham lineup when we come back on the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network. I'm broadcaster Drake Toll, and this is a broadcast of Hyannis Harbor Hawk Baseball on the Hyannis Harbor Hawk Baseball Network. I'd like to take time to thank the Cape Cod Baseball League's corporate sponsors, including Curry College. Curry College is where you go to become anything you want. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers with learning beyond the classroom. Explore undergraduate programs, NCAA Division III athletics, and continuing education and graduate studies, including fifth-year master's programs at curry.edu. Franklin Sports. The Hyannis Harbor Hawks would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again the proud official batting glove sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. Cape Cod, the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves. Thank you for tuning into today's game in the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network, where it's a great day. Back on the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network, Drake Toll alongside Austin Dakuda and Zach Berman. Bria Losick joining us baseline today. Magdal Cotto comes back out for Hyannis after a really successful top of the first inning, coming in a tough situation and making it happen for the Harbor Hawks. Looking across the Cape Cod Baseball League, the East Division, Brewster Whitecaps at 2-1, Harwich Mariners at 2-1, both tied atop the East. At 0-2-1, Yarmouth Dennis, YD Red Sox, the bottom half. In the West, home of your Harbor Hawks, there are 3 teams tied at 1-1-1. Hyannis, Wareham, and Bourne, all in the middle of the pack there. Falmouth, the bottom 0-3, and the Katuitt Kettleers. Not like we want to give them too much credit, but they are 3-0 in the early season.
They've had a good start, and you're not going to really see anybody pull away until maybe 2 weeks in here, guys, when the bats start to pick up a little bit, and you really get to see who's who on teams' pitching staffs. And with Cotto back on the mound for his second inning of work, his season high this year was 4 innings pitched, so we'll see how far Coach Beatty lets him go here. They're going to need some innings out of the pen tonight.
Might start solid with a big cut and a miss, and leadoff hitter Jack Hausinger. The second pitch Hausinger sees another swing and a miss.
He's looking good.
That is a gross breaking ball there.
Hausinger started the game with a walk. Was one of 2 consecutive walks to open up the ball game for Wareham. Magdal Cotto ahead 0-2, working quickly. Cotto comes fastball again, a check swing and a foul ball back behind us.
And that missed by about 6 inches from getting Hausinger on the hand. That could have definitely done some damage. Luckily, just got enough of the barrel and not the hand.
Yeah, that wouldn't have felt good. Hausinger, the typical infielder out of Xavier. There's a fastball high and outside. Playing shortstop today. We talked about that pitch on the 0-2, going fastball, eye level, inside or outside. When you got a pitch to work with, that's a good one to throw.
And he can throw it. He can locate everywhere in the zone with that power fastball. A breaking ball to go with it, especially to left-handers, it's so tough. When you're a guy like Cotto who has that delivery and you don't see the ball till a little bit later if you're a lefty, when he can bust you inside with a fastball and then come back outside with that breaking pitch, it's nearly impossible to get comfortable in the box.
Not particularly easy to lay off that high fastball either.
Not at all.
2-2, lefty on lefty. Magdal Cotto's got a ball just outside of the zone, and Jacob Campbell cocks back to throw the ball to Cotto, brings it back chest level, cocks back and finally dishes it almost as a sign of, I like that one.
Yeah, it caught part of the plate, but we'll see how this zone plays out today.
3-2. This one grounded to Riku Nishida. Nishida makes the grab, the throw in time, just in time, the quick Jack Hausinger, and Magdal Cotto records his 4th consecutive out of the ball game.
Couldn't ask for a better job out of the bullpen here. You come in after the starter struggled a bit, didn't record a out, and to get 4 in a row retired in efficient order, too, is very impressive.
Nice job by Cotto thus far to try and rejuvenate some life back into this team. I mean, I say that the entire team is still up against the fence. I mean, they're down 4-0. I mean, you want to talk about moxie. You want to talk about...
Hogan Windish at the plate. First pitch, he sees the breaking ball, cuts low, he swings and misses. UNC Greensboro guy. Senior at 6'1", who bat .370 last year. Had a walk in his first AB today. The 0-1 from Magdal Cotto. There's a cut and a miss again. May have got a piece of it, but he'll be down 0-2 here.
I mean, this is looking borderline unhittable right now, this stuff from Magdal Cotto.
Got a piece of Jacob Campbell as well in that last pitch. He seems to be okay. The home plate umpire going to give him a second, make sure no lasting effects from that one. It's a tough job behind the plate, especially in this league, you know, a pitcher's league, and you got guys pumping 95 back there, 96, and it's not an easy day behind the dish, and part of the reason why they rotate catchers every other day.
Magdal Cotto, the 0-2. There's a cut and the miss. Cotto now with 6 strikeouts on the year, tied for top on the team with Ty Langenberg, and 5 up, 5 down from Cotto out of the bullpen.
I mean, that curveball is that's just unfair. To see that kind of break as a hitter, what are you supposed to do? You're not supposed to do anything with that.
Fastball's on, breaking ball's on. Everything's on for Magdal Cotto right now. With Hogan Windish down, the next batter he'll see in the game is Max Anderson. Anderson in his first at-bat with a single. The first 4 batters in this lineup, when they came up in the top of the first, all scored runs to make us 4-0 right now. As he fends one off and he's down, make it even at 1-1. Cotto. Lefty deals. This one's grounded to Riku Nishida. Nishida makes the grab. The throw over to first. Easy. Magdal Cotto, 6 up, 6 down. Solid work for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, but there is work to do for the Bats. Your score, Wareham 4, Hyannis 0. To the bottom of the second we go on the Hyannis Harbor Hawk Baseball Network.
I'm sideline reporter Bria Losick, and this is a broadcast of Hyannis Harbor Hawks baseball on the Hyannis Harbor Hawk Baseball Network. We'd like to take time to thank the Cape Cod Baseball League's corporate sponsors, including Cape Cod 5 Cent Saving Bank. Cape Cod 5 is proud to be a long-standing supporter of the Cape Cod Baseball League and its contribution to the local economy as a treasured summer attraction. Cape Cod 5 is a community bank serving customers throughout Cape Cod, the islands, and southeastern Massachusetts. Founded in 1855, the bank's mission is to enrich the lives of those it serves while contributing to the health and vitality of its communities. Cape Cod 5 provides a full range of banking solutions, including personal and business banking, residential mortgages, investment management, and trust services, and Coca-Cola Bottling of New England. Cape Cod Coca-Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Please remember to recycle your empty bottles, cans, and all other recyclable materials. Thank you for tuning in to today's game in the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network, where it's a great day to be a Hawk.
It's the bottom of the second inning. Harbor Hawks needing to put up a couple here, down 4-0 as Cravey comes back out on the mound for Wareham. Cravey getting a bit of a pickle there in the bottom of the first, but was able to get out of it with 2 on and only 1 out. Harbor Hawks unable to score, but they'll be led off this inning by the big bat of the left fielder, Tito Flores. Flores debuted in his first game with Hyannis against Chatham on Tuesday. The righty steps in here, lefty on righty matchup against Crape. First pitch he sees a breaking ball. That one's in for a strike. Down to the count, 0-1.
Very interesting batting stance from Flores. You really don't see that every day, so to speak. How he almost leans directly over the plate.
Flores takes a ball really good. He left the hanging curveball right there, but it was eye level and drops down near belt level.
His curveball has a lot of late life to it. It doesn't start to break really till it gets towards the hitter, and then it just dips off a few inches.
Next pitch. That one off for a ball, and now a 2-1 count. Flores ahead.
I still can't believe you got me with the, do you know how Tito Flores got his first name? It's his name.
Yeah, that's what his parents named him, actually. Tito Flores, 4 at-bats this season and a hit. He takes a ball low and inside. 3-1 count now from Cravey.
I like this scenario where Cravey is having a little bit of trouble locating some of his pitches, and now you're going to have a guy like Riku Nishida up, possibly in a scenario with runners on. May we hope.
Yeah, that's up to the bat of Tito Flores and Philip Matulia behind him as Flores takes a cut and a miss on the 3-1. Got a piece of it, but it'll load the count up to 3-2, and it's Matulia, then Patelli, then Nishida here for the Harbor Hawks.
Excited to see Patelli today after the season he had in Miami.
Tito Flores awaits the payoff pitch from Cravey and fouls that one off straight back behind it. We've seen already 1 full count from Cravey in this ballgame when he walked Rocco Pepe on 7 pitches in the first inning.
Well, Flores just spoiled a great pitch. It was a fastball a little bit up in the zone and able to get the wood on that. That's not an easy one to get the hands to.
Certainly the best velocity that the Harbor Hawks have seen out of a starter this year with Cravey. As there's a ball hit near the second baseman, and the catch is made on the hop. A solid play there from Blake Wright to make the grab and record the first out of the bottom of the second, sitting down Tito Flores.
That's a good piece of hitting by Flores, but Wright, no pun intended, read the ball right and got a good jump on it. Only take a couple steps back and a little leap.
Well, now you'll see Philip Matulia. Matulia got the day off on Tuesday against Chatham. Back in the lineup today for the Harbor Hawks. On the year so far, it's tough to talk, right? You only played 3 games, so it's hard to compare stats on the season, but you're starting to piece those together as the first pitch he sees is in the right-handed batter's box for a ball. But on the young year, Matulia batting 167. Had a hit in his first game. That was the opener against Wareham. Next pitch he sees. There's a fastball right down the heart of the plate. And 1-1 here with 1 out in the bottom of the second inning. Harbor Hawks trailing Wareham 4-0.
Definitely a consistent zone from the home plate blue tonight, regardless of who's up which team.
Matulia skies one back behind him. It's going in the stands and will fall harmlessly in between the dugout and the first row. It's a fun souvenir for somebody.
It almost feels like Cravey gets better in the at-bat the further into the at-bat he goes.
Yeah, Cravey tops out at 96 miles an hour. His fastball is going to sit somewhere in the 92 to 94 range. Next pitch he throws Matulia. This one fouled off to the left side. This one nearing out of play. It's going to hit the net.
So Chatham has him at 99-100.
Yes. 106, actually. That's Max Anderson drifting over for that one. Well out of play, and 1-2 count still on Matulia.
Anderson has great range at third base over there as a defender, so something to keep an eye on.
Next pitch to Matulia. That was a called ball inside.
Not an easy one to lay off either.
No, and that's one where the catcher, Peter Burns, may have oversold that. That might be a strike, but Burns tried to swipe it across the plate. A little too dramatic with it. Now the 2-2 to Matulia. He fouls one off right off the plate. To go cleanly foul when recovered by Burns. He'll remain here at 2-2.
Yeah, Drake, if you leave that fastball inside where it came across the plate right on that inside corner, you're more likely to get the call as an inside strike rather than bringing it towards the middle of the plate.
Right.
I mean, the umpire, some will give you the inside strike, some won't, but they're not going to give it to you if you try to sell it as a strike over the middle of the plate.
Matulia with 1 RBI this season. Looking for a hit here. He takes a ball low.
That's a great pitch, but a better take, right? Try to get somebody fishing out of the zone, but for Matulia to lay off on that one shows great discipline, and he's seeing the ball well from Cravey.
Now 3-2 count, the payoff to Matulia. Matulia grounds this one right to Blake Wright at second base. The throw over in time. Matulia is out. And the second out recorded in the bottom of the second. Bringing up a new bat for the Harbor Hawks. He's a shortstop today from Miami, Dominic Patelli.
Already the fourth guy in the Harbor Hawks lineup to work the count of Jacob Cravey up to 3 balls. But like I've been saying, once Cravey gets deeper into these at-bats, he almost feels like he's at his best when his back's against the wall in the count.
Dominic Patelli coming up here with 2 outs and nobody on in the bottom of the second inning. First pitch he sees, an off-speed in the dirt for a ball. Dom Patelli, one of the better players on this team and a great addition for the Harbor Hawks, making his debut in this at-bat. Patelli had a great year for Miami as well, as one of the top, according to Mazdak Darvari, Director of Operations, he takes a strike for a 1-1. One of the top defensive shortstops in the nation.
He made an appearance on SportsCenter Top 10 Plays for his great defense, and all year at Miami was great.
Patelli skies one to left field. Hogan Windish camps out under it and makes the grab. 3 up, 3 down in the bottom of the second inning for Cravey, and a solid outing so far from him. Harbor Hawks still with work to do, but they need to shut down Wareham at the top of the third. Your score, Gateman 4, Harbor Hawks 0. This, the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network. I'm broadcaster Drake, and this is a broadcast of Hyannis Harbor Hawk Baseball on the Hyannis Harbor Hawk Baseball Network. I'd like to take time to thank the Cape Cod Baseball League's corporate sponsors, including Curry College. Curry College is where you go to become anything you want. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers with learning beyond the classroom. Explore undergraduate programs, NCAA Division III athletics, and continuing education and graduate studies, including fifth-year master's programs at curry.edu. Franklin Sports. The Hyannis Harbor Hawks would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again the proud official batting glove sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. Cape Cod, the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves. Thank you for tuning into today's game in the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network, where it's a great day. Back on the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network, Drake Toll alongside Austin Dakuda, Zach Berman, and Bria Losick. Stepping to the plate for Wareham here is Blake Wright, the second baseman, the 4-hole hitter today for Wareham. He's going to have to deal with Magdel Cotto, though, who's set down the first 6 batters that he saw in this game since he came in the first inning with 2 on and nobody out. 4 runs already away for Wareham. He has been lights out in the first pitch he throws to Blake Wright is a fastball outside, but just showing the velo he's got.
Well, Wright had a big hit in the first inning, a single that drove home 2 runs. So coming up here, Cotto's got to be careful.
Wareham with 4 hits in this ballgame. Hyannis 1 is the next pitch from Cotto. This one's high, and he'll fall behind 2-0.
And it all comes down to what you do with those guys on base. We've seen Hyannis get multiple guys on base multiple times this season, not get anything out of it.
Yeah. Wareham came into this game with just 8 hits on the year. They have 4 today as Cotto misses with a fastball high. I feel like that's a strike for most plate umpires. Around that, again, belt level, but not today on Thursday, June 16th at McKeon Park.
Weather-wise, a pretty beautiful Thursday, June the 16th.
Not bad. Cleared up a little bit. It was frigid earlier. Magdel Cotto down 3-0. Goes fastball down the heart of the plate and a called strike on the 4-hole hitter Blake Wright.
You know how it works. And out in the Cape, the sun comes out, and maybe back across the river or the canal, it's probably still gloomy.
3-1. Magdel Cotto sits, deals. That one's a ball low and inside. And the first batter of the top of the third inning will reach base safely. Blake Wright trots over to first. Magdel Cotto will now be tasked with sitting down at center fielder Ian Farrow.
So it's nice to know that Magdil Cotto is in fact a mortal man and not a cyborg that just exists to sit guys down.
Farrow had a hit in his first at-bat and an RBI earlier today. Had a single that followed up Blake Wright's double. Magdil Cotto will watch his runner Blake Wright at first base, then come back to Farrow. His first pitch to him, it's called ball low.
Tight zone.
Very tight zone. It's a great way to put it.
Leave it at that.
1-0 count now on Ian Farrow.
At the very least, it is a consistently tight zone.
That is true. It's been consistent both ways.
Cotto.
My take is, as long as you're calling it both sides.
Lefty checking over to right at first, then throws and gets a cut and a miss from Farrow. Count running 1-1. How about this? Ian Farrow at Florida Gulf Coast this season, 21 home runs, 9 doubles.
Okay, boom or bust maybe? I don't know.
I'm not sure if I've seen a disparity that large between home runs and doubles. That's some Joey Gallo-like stuff.
Except for the fact that he probably hits 200 points higher than Joey Gallo.
Probably so, yeah. 322, so that's more than 200 points, yeah.
What's Joey batting, Zach? You're a Yankee fan of
92, 93.
Joey's turned it on as of late. He hasn't been terrible.
Yeah.
112 strikeouts and 3 singles.
I'll get the Gallo stats up as we
We have
speak.
our major league statistician here. 1-1 count after Cotto tried to check right over at first base. Nolan Shanuel.
186.
Oh, boy.
Ooh.
Don't let him get to 200.
Yeah. Guy's getting hot as of late, I guess. There's a ball outside. 2-1 count now on Ian Farrow. Transferring to Miami will be teammates with Dominic Patelli. Farrow, pretty solid pull hitter. 53% of the time he's going to pull. Strikes out just a little bit more against lefties, and he's got a lefty to deal with here in Magdil Cotto. The 2-1. Cotto checks right, dealing from the stretch. The pitch is high and outside. Down to the count, 3-1 again for Magdil Cotto.
Now's a good time for that new middle infield to turn too.
Yeah.
Maybe a great situation. Need to get an out, though. At the least, he's got to come back in the zone on this pitch on 3-1.
Cotto's got middle infield of Riku Nishida and Dominic Patelli behind him today. Rocco Pepe at the hot corner and Nolan Shanuel at first. Cotto's 3-1 pitch. That one's a called strike on the inside part of the plate.
Okay, that's the first time we've seen. That's the first time we've seen the zone expand.
Yeah, it did right there. I credit to our home plate blue for helping Magdil Cotto out just a little bit.
Hats off. The tip of the cap there.
Count full, nobody out. Blake Wright stands at first base. 4-0 ball game. Wareham ahead. Cotto. Eyes right momentarily. Stares back at Ian Farrow. Cotto's going to throw over, and nothing much there to Blake Wright. That's one of those pickoffs. It's just to show you see him, right? That's not an intent to throw a guy out.
He's getting a few steps off first now, getting a little comfortable, maybe just to let Wright know, hey, I'm still thinking of you.
Yep.
Don't get that extra step. See, now he shortens up about a half step or so.
Shanuel occupying first. Cotto stares in. The payoff pitch to Farrow. Magdil Cotto gets him to cut, foul one off right back behind him.
That's a good job by Farrow. Fastball tailing away, and just to get anything on that pitch, not easy whatsoever.
Farrow batting 125, came into the game 1 for 8 on the season.
Farrow out of Florida Gulf Coast. I mean, when I think Florida Gulf Coast, where does your mind immediately go?
Oh, basketball 2014, something like that.
Lob City.
Magdil Cotto, payoff pitch again to Ian Farrow. Farrow's going to foul one right back off, and a good job to stay alive.
Cotto went same pitch there, same outside tailing away fastball, and Farrow, nice job to, once again, get something, anything on it to stay alive in the at-bat.
Cotto today, since coming in relief, has thrown 38 pitches, 25 strikes, 13 balls, has not allowed a hit. His lone walk stands at first base.
Get the feeling the way Farrow battles the plate. I don't think Joey Gallo is a fair comp.
I would hope not. Another 3-2 pitch to Ian Farrow. That one's a ball high, went fastball, chest level and outside. Now 2 on with 2 consecutive walks to Farrow and Wright.
From Mississippi State, number 7.
Well, noted friend of the broadcast, Wes Burton, is now getting loose down to the bullpen there.
Friend's a strong word.
Acquaintance of the
there you go.
Ally.
ally, broadcast assistant at this point.
Yeah, we did have him on against Chatham on Tuesday. Always good for content, you know, always good for content. Stepping to the plate, following up Farrow now with 2 on and nobody out
Wes
here.
Bird, who we can confirm will not be singing the national anthem at any point in time this season.
That's too bad.
I don't know if we can confirm that. I don't know. Can we confirm? That's a strong word.
You can't confirm much.
Kellum Clark is going to have a hit in the right field. It lands in between McConnell and Matulia. McConnell going back. That's going to score 1, maybe 2. Rounding third. Headed for home and headed for home safely without a throw is Ian Farrow. As Blake Wright, Ian Farrow both touch the plate. Score 2 more for Wareham on a stand-up double from Kellum Clark.
Early breaking ball, another one. Breaking ball hung over the plate. These gatemen have seemingly figured out the rhythm that both pitchers have thrown in. I guess it took Cotto a little bit more time to show that, but nice piece of hitting there by Clark, and 4-run deficit's tough in this league, a 6-run deficit. We have only seen one team until tonight score 6. That was Cotuit earlier this week.
Yep. Magdale Cotto now has a runner on second base. He'll work from the stretch as following up Kellum Clark will be Connor O'Brien, the 7-hole hitter in this lineup. First pitch he shows O'Brien's a fastball low, called ball. O'Brien was actually the first batter that Cotto saw in this ball game, was able to set down via strikeout. Following up O'Brien in the lineup for Wareham today will be the 8-hole hitter, Peter Burns, and Cobb behind him. There's another ball from Magdale Cotto, and you said Wes Burton is in the bullpen. He's not quite throwing pitches yet, so I'm not sure how quickly we'd see him. He's just now starting his progression to get warm.
I mean, it's only the top of the third. You have to think that this is Cotto's inning to get out of.
You got to salvage some arms here for sure. Cotto has recorded every single out of this ball game for Hyannis. As the next pitch that he deals to Connor O'Brien's a ball inside. He's now down 3-0.
Well, absolutely salvage some arms. You got a game tomorrow, game Saturday, doubleheader Sunday before seemingly a rarity in the schedule. 2 off days next week.
Yeah. 3-0 count to Connor O'Brien, senior from Bradley. The Kentucky Wildcat, Magdale Cotto, sets. Checks over to second and then deals a strike, a fastball on the inside half of the plate. Second base is Kellum Clark now. Riku Nishida tails him, trying to leave him there. The righty Connor O'Brien trying to bring another Wareham Gateman home with a 6-0 lead in the top of the third inning. Nobody out. Magdale Cotto's 3-1 is very low and very inside, and he sends another Wareham Gateman on the base paths as Connor O'Brien trots down to first. Now there's 2 on, nobody out. Runner at first is O'Brien. Runner at second is Ketchum. Make it Clark. And I think we can come to the conclusion that it's time for yours truly to stop doing play-by-play against Wareham.
Well, that's actually a fair point. If this things don't pick up a bit here.
Yeah, after night 1, the 2-1 loss, and now down 6-0 in the top of the third, and they'll send a coach out to talk to Magdale Cotto, who was lights out through his first 6 batters that he faced in this ballgame, coming in a tight spot in the first. But here in the third inning, he's faced 4 and has not set a single one down yet.
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, he's worked as many as 4 innings. He's had plenty of multi-inning relief appearances for Kentucky, but doesn't have as much tonight. He started off very strong, but we've seen expanded patience out of the bats of the Gatemen later here. As Cotto's outings progress, they've started to lay off some pitches, take and not start swinging until later in the count, and it's helped them out with a couple of walks in this inning.
Peter Burns will come to the plate. The second time Cotto has faced Burns in the ball game today. Burns on the season, 1 for 3 coming into the game. He's 0 for 1 today.
Well, lefty-lefty here. This could be Cotto's last batter, depending on how it goes.
Cotto eyes Clark at second and stares into the first pitch to Peter Burns, and Burns fouls this one off to the right side. Following him up will be the 9-hole hitter, Tremaine Cobb Jr.
already close to the third time through for Wareham, and we're only in the top of the third inning.
Yeah. Barring double play, Wareham will send their leadoff hitter, Jack Hausinger, to the plate for the third time today in the third inning. Cotto checks Clark again. Nobody's holding him there, and he comes to the plate. This one's grounded toward Nishida, double play ball. Throw to second, in time to Patelli. Patelli back to first, not in time. Runners on first and third now with one out for Hyannis, and Tremaine Cobb Jr. comes to the plate with an opportunity to score another for Wareham with just one away in the top of the third.
It was too far to Nishida's left for him to turn two on that. It was a good effort to try to turn it with Patelli, but by the time he turned, planted, and got it to Dom, Burns runs well for a catcher and no shot at two.
Yeah.
Well, you actually take that play 10 times out of 10 because if he goes to first, that takes away the force at second.
You
so
will.
now
It's the right play. That's what I was. I mean, I just meant it was in too tough of a spot to turn two, but it's worth the shot.
Tremaine Cobb Jr. stands at the plate. He's 0 for 1 today as well. Grounded out to Riku Nishida in his first at-bat. That was against Magdel Cotto. First pitch, Cotto throws him. It's a called strike on the outside half of the plate. Making a swing and a miss. That would have been a called strike anyway.
Burton looks like he's ready to go out there. Got the glove off, just kind of.
Yeah, no kidding, huh? You look at, there is action in the bullpen. Action's a strong word. I'm not sure if action. Someone is standing up in the bullpen right now. 0-1 count to Cobb. There's a called strike. Solid stuff from Magdel Cotto.
And this is more of what we saw from Cotto the last inning, or the inning before.
One out, runner on first and third here for Wareham. Top of the third inning, leading 6-0. Magdel Cotto sets the 0-2 against the 9-hole hitter, Tremaine Cobb Jr. Cotto checks over to first base, where Peter Burns currently stands, and he delivers the 0-2. It's a ball low on the fastball. And I am a proponent, I'm a truther for an 0-2 fastball at eye level. I like the 0-2 fastball high.
I do as well.
So if Drake Toll, if you became a catcher one day, you would call for that 0-2 fastball at high level every single time.
If I became a catcher one day, every other catcher in the world has died. And I'm the only one left.
Well, that sounds like the plot of a dystopian novel.
1-2, Tremaine Cobb is fooled, swings and misses, drops down to his knee. He regrets that one as he drops the head and walks back to the dugout. Another strikeout for Magdel Cotto, who's the new team leader with 7 on the year for Hyannis. And here comes Eric Beatty. That'll be the last batter that Cotto faces as the lineup flips, and Jack Hausinger, the shortstop, will come up for his third at-bat today.
Well, regardless how this game has gone or how this inning has gone for Magdel Cotto, that's an at-bat that you can put on your resume. That's one that you can show anybody and say, if you can fool a hitter that badly, your stuff is top-notch.
And he battled. He battled through. He was able to work through a little tough spot in the middle, but overall it's a good outing for Cotto. You'll take it. I know 2 runs came across, and he had that 3 walks to go with it, but, you know, he was impressive overall.
Well, guys, we'll see Wes Burton come into the ball game for Hyannis as Magdel Cotto's day is done. When we come back, we'll tell you Magdel's final stat line. But until then, we've got Bria Losick live baseline. Bria?
The lineup looks a little different for the Harbor Hawks tonight. Along with some new faces coming in, some familiar ones are fulfilling new roles. Riku Nishida changed from being leadoff batter to batting 9th, while Rocco Pepe makes his first start at the hot corner. I asked Coach Beatty before the game about these lineup changes, and he said that he's still trying to work out and figure out what his guys' strengths are and what the team is looking like this year, and to not be too worried about these switches. He smiled at me and said, "Don't worry, I'm not trying to get too crazy." Back to you guys in the booth.
Well, thank you, Bria. Always a great baseline report as we get Wes Burton into the ball game now. Wes Burton has made 1 appearance on the year for the Harbor Hawks, but we'll wrap up Magdel Cotto's 2 2/3 innings, 1 hit, 2 earned runs, both of those coming in this inning here at the top of the third. Had 3 walks and 4 strikeouts, facing 12 batters in total. Cotto now with 7 strikeouts, the leader on this team. Gives way to Wes Burton and leaves a man on third and a man on first, both tabbed to his name.
And you really like this spot for Burton because the way his arm angle contributes to where he puts his pitches, a lot of low pitches, which in turn will mean a lot of ground balls, theoretically. And I don't think there's anything that Coach Beatty and the Hyannis Harbor Hawks want more right now than a ground ball to get out of the inning.
Probably not. Wes Burton will top out around 94 miles an hour, and it surprises him, too. It's funny, this week I woke up to a text from Wes 2 days ago, and it's a tweet that I sent in May of 2021. Someone had tweeted, Wes Burton's glove says 100 or die, but he barely throws 90. To which I responded, it's funny that Wes Burton liked this tweet, and it's amazing the Twitter app is free. Well, Wes found that tweet somehow, and it's what I woke up to on Wednesday.
I mean, what are the odds? You tweet about a guy a year ago,
and now here he is. Yeah, so he
playing on the team you're broadcasting.
He texted me and he said, before you can become, a member of the Wes Burton bandwagon, you first have to pay for your indiscretions. So I brought him a gift today. I picked up his Chipotle. He had Chipotle in the pregame, and by pregame I mean about a half hour before this game, delivered to the ballpark here at McKeon.
Do you know what his Chipotle order was?
I don't. I didn't ask.
I know it's double steak.
Double steak.
I do remember him saying that the other day. And white rice, because he didn't like that you were brown rice guy, Zach.
No. Actually, I had Chipotle last night, and I did get brown rice.
Yeah, two runners on.
Disappointing.
First and third. First pitch was a ball outside. Chipotle is also, I believe it's Magdal Cotto's favorite restaurant.
Well, there's only one on Cape Cod, and that would be right at the Cape Cod Mall. So these guys play on the right team to be Chipotle frequenters.
There's the off-speed from Wes Burton. He's so unique. Burton doesn't have to walk very far to get close to home plate, but every pitch that he throws, he'll walk about 7 steps in and come halfway to make the throw from Campbell pretty easy.
Well, those size 15s will make up some ground pretty quickly.
Will. He's got the big stirrups on, too. White on white today with the blue hat for the Harbor Hawks. Thankfully, not the same uniform as their opponent, like we saw on Tuesday night.
Chatham, the battle of the blue on whites.
Yeah. The 2-0 count, the leadoff hitter, and that one's a ball high from Wes Burton. Jack Hausinger ahead 3-0. The first batter that Burton saw this season, he worked into a 3-2 count, ended up being a 9-pitch at-bat. Finally got a ground out to Riku Nishida. Burton told us on the broadcast Tuesday, he said, look, you fought off a few in front of the scouts. You've shown enough. Just ground out already.
He wouldn't go down without a fight, and, well, Wes won the battle, luckily.
Burton's 3-0 pitch. There's a called strike on the outside half of the plate. Up in the zone, and a solid stuff to Hausinger.
I got to tell you, I didn't notice it when Wes came out against Orleans, but today when he came in, watching the 6'8 Wes Burton stand next to the 5'6 Riku Nishida almost harkens back to that shot of Aaron Judge and Jose Altuve standing next to each other.
3-1 from Burton, gets away from Campbell. Ball high and coming in safely. Easy to score for Wareham. Their 7th run of the game. That was Connor O'Brien, making Kellum Clark that came across. And now with ball 4, you're going to put the leadoff man, Jack Hausinger, at first. And you bring up Hogan Windish, 2 behind him.
Sometimes in baseball, it's just, one of those nights where everything seems to be going in the favor of a single team.
Well, Wareham came into this game the worst hitting team on Cape. They're not even on Cape.
Yeah, I was going to say. In the league.
In the league.
Burton walked the first man that he sees and will now get a taste of Hogan Windish. This is Windish's 3rd at-bat of the day. Burton sets, checks to second, fires home, and the strike is called in the inside half of the plate. The runner standing at second base right now is Peter Burns, the catcher.
But you really do get this feeling that the Hawks' bats, despite having been dormant for the first 3 or so games, they're only one hit. Really, you feel like once the piece snaps into place, it's going to change fast.
Burton sets, deals, and a ball high. Right around the numbers to make it 1-1. The count even on Hogan Windish. Windish from UNC Greensboro. Pull heavy guy. 57% of the time he steps to the plate, he's going to pull the ball. Versus lefties, he bats .361. Versus righties, .375. And the big righty, Wes Burton, 6'8", sets and deals the 1-1. That's a called ball. Just a little bit above the belt again. And we've seen that pitch called a strike before, but like we talked about, not today.
You're not going to get that pitch today. You got to keep it, belt to knees kind of in that zone. That's the hot spot for tonight's game. And you might get a little bit on the inside corner, but not too much. It's a tight zone.
2-1 from Burton to Hogan Windish. Wes Burton deals one and a swing and a miss from Windish, evens the count at 2-2, and that's a big part of these relievers for Hyannis is throwing strikes, getting guys to miss and not walking batters. And that's been really what's helped Wareham out so much today. The fact that in total they've already had 6 walks in the game. We're not even through 3 innings.
The walks come back to bite you, and that's what we're seeing tonight. I mean, 7 runs, 5 hits, but 6 walks, and I think that explains why the stat line looks how it does.
It's 3-2. Wes Burton.
Wes thought that was strike 3. He was already a couple steps off the bump.
Well, runners are going to both be in motion here, so got to be very careful where this pitch is located. Because if it's put in play, there's a chance a run comes home.
And then you got to possibly contend with Max Anderson with 2 guys on or the bases loaded.
3-2 count, 2 outs, payoff from Burton. This one's fouled off the right side. A really solid pitch. You see Burton comes from about the highest arm angle you can come from, almost as if he's throwing over his shoulder, coming way back and then in.
I mean, he uses every ounce of that 6'8" frame. You probably won't see a higher arm angle on the Cape, in the league, or heck, anywhere around baseball for that matter. How many pitchers do you see 6'8" nowadays?
That come over the top, too.
Right.
I mean, even the guys who are 6'8", not all of them come over the top like that. I mean, that ball is reaching like 7'5" at one point.
This one fouled away to the right side. Here comes Shaniel under it. Nolan Shaniel makes the grab, and well, the Harbor Hawks won't get out of the top of the 3rd completely unscathed. There's 3 runs come across for Wareham, your new score. The Gatemen 7, your Harbor Hawks 0. We go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Hyannis trying to put together some offense here. This, the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network.
I'm broadcaster Austin Dakuda, and this is a broadcast of Hyannis Harbor Hawks baseball on the Hyannis Harbor Hawk Baseball Network. We'd like to take time to thank the Cape Cod Baseball League's corporate sponsors, including the Yawkey Foundation. Tom and Gene Yawkey were passionate about the game of baseball. Over their 7 decades as owners of the Boston Red Sox, the Yawkeys greatly invested in youth and amateur athletics in our community. They recognize the important skills baseball can bring to players both on and off the field: cooperation, respect, teamwork, friendships, and confidence. The Yawkey Foundation has been proud to support the Cape League for more than 25 years. The Better Business Bureau. The Better Business Bureau is partnering with the Cape Cod Baseball League this year to help you find a trusted business at bbb.org. Thank you for tuning in to today's game in the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network, where it's a great day to be a Hawk.
Welcome back to the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network. Rick Toll alongside Austin Dakuda, Zach Berman, Bria Lawson. Zach, baseball.
Yeah.
Baseball.
Baseball.
I don't know exactly what is taking place here.
Well, it's
all right.
Hasn't necessarily been the best day for some Harbor Hawk baseball, but hey, you got 6 innings to work with. And who better to start a rally?
Yeah, you have a good part of the lineup up here. Riku Nishida, he enjoys hitting in the 9-hole as well, and Nishida is a guy who we asked before the game, Riku, you've batted leadoff, you're now in the 9 spot, and how do you feel about that? He says, I don't mind hitting 1, I don't mind hitting 9, I like both of them just as much.
Yeah, here comes Nishida for his first at-bat of the day. And we've talked about, too, it's so tough when you stick a guy like Nishida in the 9-hole. You're going to get, over the course of a season, as there's a called strike on the outside part of the plate.
Sure.
Looked a little bit out right there.
Well,
Nishida, I'm sure, is thinking the same thing as the 0-1. That one bounces off the plate in the dirt from Cravey. But with Nishida, over the course of a Major League Baseball season, you stick a guy, you want 1 hole in the 9, you're going to miss 40 or 50 at-bats from the guy. So it may not be the wisest thing, but in Summer League ball, it's a much smaller sample size. You can really toy around with lineups as they're doing today with Nishida, who takes a ball outside. And the one thing that I love about having Riku Nishida in that 1 hole is you're guaranteed a 10-pitch at-bat from the jump or a walk.
And he's leading off this inning, which is big, too. So while he didn't lead off the ball game, you're now a little bit deeper into things, and he's going to start the inning off. He's going to battle here, and he's going to set the table here for Shaniel and Hyannis.
all right, 2 strikes. Here come the antics we've all
You see
come
him
to know and love at this point.
drop
There's the
down,
leg kick.
raise that leg. Riku Nishida grounds one to Blake Wright at second base. Right, the flip over to first is in plenty of time. Beat out Nishida by a couple of steps. And that will bring now Nolan Shaniel, the leadoff batter of today's game, to the plate.
Number 12.
Well, we saw Riku Nishida on that at bat do something we haven't seen him do very often, which was miss on a pitch. You don't typically see Riku swing and miss and not get any contact. It almost, you felt as if there was some sort of disturbance in the force, a little glitch in the matrix.
Shaniel, the first pitch he sees is a called strike in the outside half of the plate. A fastball there from Cravey. Cravey stuff we talked about earlier. Definitely the hardest pitcher Hyannis has seen start a game this season. Shaniel grounds that one near the left or on the right side. It's picked up by Blake Wright, throws over to first. Cravey couldn't get there in time. The throw gets away from Cravey, but sitting right back there is Peter Burns to grab it. Shaniel will be safe at first base, and if we have learned anything about the scoring in the Cape League early this season, that should be a hit.
Well, regardless of how it is scored, if you're looking for a bright spot right now in this game, Nolan Shaniel has got on twice to start the game.
E4.
And my gut says E4, and it looks like it is an E4.
Wow. All right. Austin, you were on that one.
Yeah, it would. I mean, Ty, it would have been very close whether Shaniel liked that one out or not. It was partially because Cravey didn't get over there as quick as you needed.
The first pitch, the Hyannis sees the left side of the field in no man's land, foul. That one lands safely. 0-1 count, Hyannis behind.
But you really do like to see Shaniel getting on twice. That is something that maybe Coach Beatty will use his reasoning to keep him in the leadoff spot for all you know.
What we do know is that Shaniel and Hyannis are basically going to play every single day, and these guys are going to alternate at first base and DH, two of your most talented hitters on the club.
At the plate, Hyannis is 0 for 1 today. Hyannis 3 for 11 on the season coming into today's game.
And now if you had mentioned earlier, the wind wasn't blowing much. Now we're seeing that flag dance a little bit out in right center.
Pitch to Hyannis. He takes a ball inside. 1-1 count now, evens things up. Hyannis spun out around from that one as if it was about to hit him. Saw a little bit of movement from the fastball there.
It was a little bit closer in his hands than I was expecting at first jump.
Yeah. The 1-1, Hyannis going to watch a ball low and outside. Ahead 2-1 here. Harbor Hawks trying to string something together. Down 7-0 in the bottom of the third inning.
I mean, it's not common, but at the same time, teams have scored 7 unanswered plenty of times in baseball. So why not tonight?
The 2-1. This one, skied near center field, coming over and not in time to let it drop. Is a center fielder. It gets away from him. Here rounding third and headed for home is Nolan Shaniel, who's going to score, and into third base safely the designated hitter, Justin Hyannis.
Well, there you go. Put the ball in play. Good things happen. A good piece of hitting by Justin Hyannis, and a little bit overran by Farrow, but not by too much. It just took a funky hop, went over his head, and next thing you know, a run's home, and another one is 90 feet away.
Assuming that is ruled as a triple and not a double and an error, that would stand as the first triple of the season for the Hawks. And it is being ruled a triple, so there you go. RBI triple for Justin Hyannis.
Yeah, Farrow overran that one. It took a weird hop. He couldn't get to it. Tried to bare hand, was a little too late. And now you'll get Rocco Juice Rabbit Pepe.
Good run producer here in a good spot to produce a run.
Pepe will watch ball one. That one's low and outside. We'll see how well Cravey can respond now, allowing his first run of the game. He's thrown in total 51 pitches, 31 strikes, 20 balls. Next pitch to Pepe. Pepe grounds this one up the middle. It's recovered at shortstop. The throw over to first. Pepe will be called out there, but it will score. Justin Hyannis, the second run of the ball game for Hyannis.
Well, you take him any way you can get him right now. So, obviously a 5-run deficit. It's better than a 7-run deficit, but 2 outs, nobody on. Guys warming in the Gateman bullpen. I think you might be seeing the last of Cravey tonight.
Swing and a miss here in the first pitch. Cole McConnell, the center fielder, sees. Struck out in his first plate appearance against Cravey today. You saw Shaniel reach on error. Hyannis with a triple. Have given the Harbor Hawks 2 runs here in the bottom of the third inning as there's a called strike and now a 1-1 count on Cole McConnell.
Credit to Shaniel running at the sound of contact on that eventual triple by Hyannis. He would have made it to third regardless of how the center fielder Farrow played the ball.
There's a ball outside. Not close for McConnell, who lays off. Ahead now 2-1.
It's a nice job by that Harbor Hawk coaching staff instituting the hit and run.
McConnell will fend one off the left side. And check the count at now 1-2.
Another right-hander throwing in the Gateman bullpen, so won't see a southpaw just yet from the visiting team.
1-2 pitch to Cole McConnell. McConnell right back up the middle, and it is a base hit just over second base. Cole McConnell safe at first, well out of the diving reach of Hausinger. And the Harbor Hawks are toying with a 2-out rally here in the bottom of the third, trailing 7-2 against Wareham.
Man, did you hear that cheer from the dugout? I love the attitude that this team, this bunch is working with, man. They're down 5, and yet
that's Cole McConnell's first hit on the Cape.
First hit on the Cape, hopefully first of many.
Yeah. Following up, Cole McConnell will be Jacob Campbell. Campbell came into the game batting .400, 2 for 5 on the season. The first pitch Campbell sees. This one's skied into left field. Camping out underneath it is Windish, and he's going to make the play for the third out of the bottom of the third inning, but not before the Harbor Hawks have put up 2 runs and cut just a bit into the Wareham lead. It's 7-2. This, the Hyannis Harbor Hawk Baseball Network. I'm Drake Toll, and this is a broadcast of Hyannis Harbor Hawks Baseball on the Hyannis Harbor Hawk Baseball Network. We'd like to take time to thank the Cape Cod Baseball League's corporate sponsors, including Coca-Cola Bottling of New England. Cape Cod Coca-Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod Coca-Cola has been proudly refreshing the community for over 30 years, and we're honored to support the CCBL and many other wonderful organizations on the Cape. Fairway Financial. Fairway Financial is a proud national sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. If you want to hit a home run with your retirement income plan, visit fairwayfinancial.net and ask for owner and host family sponsor Steve Enzuoni, Cape Cod's retirement income specialist. That's fairwayfinancial.net. Thank you for tuning in to today's game in the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network, where it's a great day to be a Hawk. We are back at McKeon Ballpark, Harbor Hawk Baseball Network. Drake Toll alongside Austin Dakuta, Zach Berman, and Bria Losick. Your score, Wareham 7, Hyannis 2 through 3 innings of play here. Wes Burton comes back out for the Harbor Hawks. Burton, 2 years running, college baseball's favorite psychopath. And Zach, we have certainly seen that in the first 10 days on the Cape.
I mean, is there a more fun player to watch pitch in this league right now than Wes Burton? Just, there's nothing more to explain, just Wes being Wes.
Oh, what a throw by Campbell. I know it's just the warm-ups, but that ball was put perfectly to second base by the catcher. And a tough part of the lineup to contend with here if you're Wes Burton. 3, 4, 5, starting with Max Anderson. And all 3 of these guys have hits on the night, so no easy task coming up. And he's going to have to be in the zone and locate his pitches in this inning to get through this Gateman lineup.
Max Anderson, solid year at Nebraska, and mostly third base over there for the Cornhuskers. Anderson comes into the ball game today, hitting .83. I think that was your proposed batting average for Joey Gallo earlier.
It was close to Joey's average, but apparently he's gotten a little bit hot.
Okay.
There's an off speed
the fact
from
that
Burton
the Yankees
for a strike.
are where they are record-wise, despite how Joey Gallo and Aaron Hicks have played.
Fastball gets away from Burton there. You can see especially when Burton throws an errant pitch, he'll try to make the throw much easier for Campbell, almost as an I'm sorry. He'll come near home plate. A quick lob from Campbell. Now a 1-1 count on Anderson.
Well, there's the lob.
Off-speed pitch there from Burton. Wes Burton is ahead. Got 2 strikes on Anderson, 1 ball.
I'm not sure if our cameras caught that after the wild pitch. He almost had that little smirk of, oh, man, I'm sorry. That's on me.
Yeah. The 1-2 to Anderson. Wes Burton throws a ball away from Campbell again. Here he comes. He's got that smile and he said, my bad. You read his lips. He said, my bad.
Well, yeah, it is your bad, Wes, unfortunately.
You see him cock the head both ways, clean off the rubber a little bit. Maybe that was the problem. Maybe the rubber was just a little too dirty.
Man, if I'm If I'm reading lips this well this early in the season, I want to call from John Boy by the end of
That
it.
one's cut at Dominic Patelli. Patelli on the run, makes the catch, throw to first, not in time. Oh, it's in time.
Okay, we'll take
What?
it. Nice.
Hello, Nolan Shaniel with the stretch. And I'll say this, I'm not sure if Harvey Shapiro will come across and ask about it. You know, most of the time in the Cape, there's the unwritten rule. You don't complain too often about the officiating, but that looked pretty square that Max Anderson had an infield single. It'd be safe at first base, but there's a cookie for Dominic Patelli and out at first. And following Max Anderson will be Blake Wright.
And there's your defensive sorcery from Patelli that has been as advertised.
Austin?
Sure.
I think we both saw the same thing.
I saw Max Anderson a couple steps behind that bag, but
Yes.
that's okay. We'll take it. I mean, little gentleman's agreement up, down 7-2 kind of deal, maybe.
Right. Dominic Patelli's first big play on the Cape.
Throw you a bone. We'll take it.
But you get the feeling that if the Hawks can manage a comeback, that play, as insignificant as it could feel right now, could wind up being another one up high.
How about that? Wes Burton, he turns around, does a little leg kick, and comes back, says, I'm sorry again. He said I'm sorry a few times in this game already.
Obviously, Wes Burton, a California native, he's picked up some of that Southern hospitality while being down in Oxford.
He hasn't paid too much for those mistakes today. He's got a 1-1 here on Blake Wright out of Clemson. The pitch and a swing and a miss. Blake Wright comes out of his shoes. Wes Burton fooled him right there. You can see a big smile in the dugout, and he kind of gives him a nod.
I mean, isn't that the Wes Burton we all know and love? He'll airmail one, he'll say, I'm sorry, he'll shake it off, and then he'll fool the batter on the next pitch.
It's 1-2 on Blake Wright, the second baseman for Wareham. From the stretch comes Burton. The throw, and Anderson will foul that one off to the right side. Burton does a couple of 360s and comes back to the mound. You just watch him, even when he doesn't have the overinflated antics that you saw his freshman season at Ole Miss that really made him famous in baseball. He's still just the way that he does things is unconventional in general. Especially coming with, and some guys are more comfortable that way, the stretch with nobody on here, and he throws a ball high and outside. Count runs even at 2-2 on Blake Wright. Wright, 398 OBP this past season, 10 home runs, 9 doubles. Struck out just 23 times. That's off the glove of Burton to Riku Nishida. Nishida throw to first, well in time. And a second out at the top of the fourth inning is Blake Wright, who's followed by Ian Farrow.
Nice play by Riku. You know, I had a conversation with Riku before the game, and I asked him, Riku, growing up, who did you look up to on the baseball diamond? Who do you model your game after? Who was your biggest role model? And he goes, nobody. I don't watch baseball. And at first I was like, wait a second. And then you almost kind of piece together. When you watch Riku Nishida play, you watch his mechanics, you watch just how he plays the game. It all of a sudden makes a lot of sense because he plays such an unorthodox style of baseball where you're like, yeah, I get that. Yeah. I did ask Riku what sport he does like to watch, and he is a big fan of boxing.
Huh. There is a 1-0 count from Wes Burton here on Ian Farrow.
I feel like there's more athletes out there, big names that have just that play a lot of their own sport but don't watch the rest of the sport. Definitely right.
Not the first one I've heard
Not
that
the first one.
does that. I mean, there's a lot of guys who you spend so much time on the baseball field. Like Riku growing up, they'd practice for 10 hours a day. When you get home, I'm sure the last thing you want to do is go home and watch more baseball.
Burton the 2-0 here to Ian Farrow. That one's a ball high and outside. 3-0 now. Farrow well ahead.
I mean, Derek Jeter, of course, famously admitted after he retired that he never watched the game and couldn't care less who was winning the American League. So
it's funny how now he was in an executive position.
Yeah. 3-0 count from Burton trying to fight his way back against the Miami transfer, and he goes ball outside and a walk. Farrow goes down to first base. Burton comes set back up on the rubber.
One more good one. Anthony Rendon, of course, current Angel, former Washington National, admitted the game in his own words. I don't watch baseball. It's too long and boring.
Not a baseball guy. I guess some people just aren't, huh? 2 outs, runner on first. Wes Burton trying to get himself out of the top of the 4th inning here. Trailing by 5, 7-2 the score. 5 hits today for Wareham compared to 3 for Hyannis. Burton checks the runner. First pitch he throws just a little off. One ball, no strikes. Here to the 6-hole hitter, Kellum Clark. Burton checks over to Farrow at first, now comes home. That one's lined for a base hit on the right side of the field. Coming over is Philip Matulia. Matulia could try to save a run here. Matulia relays it in. Farrow's going to hold up at third base with a stand-up double is Kellum Clark, and now there's runners on second and third for Connor O'Brien.
Well, Kellum Clark is having himself one heck of a baseball game. Now 3 for 3, a pair of doubles, and 3 RBI. He is all over the place, all over the bases, and what a game for the returning Wareham Gateman member.
This is a very, very big at-bat here. If Burton can get out of this inning unscathed, keep some of that momentum alive after coming back, and now Burton and Campbell have a little chat on the pitcher's mound.
And Jacob Campbell comes out. Campbell threw out 2 guys on the base pass against Chatham on Tuesday. Solid stuff from Jacob Campbell, the catcher out of Illinois. Switching time with Pancho Ruiz. He'll come talk to the big 6'8" Wes Burton. Wes told me probably a week ago when they first got their uniforms, his pants were about 3 sizes too small, and thankfully he had already taken them off and traded them for some shorts, so none of us had to see it. But it seems as though he has opted to go with pants that are about 3 sizes too big. He's got the baggy jersey, the baggy pants. It makes me think maybe those pants fit just perfectly. Wes just likes a little sag to him. You got the stirrups on as well, and it seems as though Campbell is trying to buy some time with that meeting at the mound, and now Eric Beatty, the head coach, comes out, typically a sign of Hyannis going to the bullpen. They're going to make a change here as Wes Burton's night will be done for the Harbor Hawks. We will see the 4th pitcher of the game for the guys in white today when we come back. This is the Hyannis Harbor Hawk Baseball Network.
I'm Zach Berman. This is a broadcast of Hyannis Harbor Hawks baseball on the Hyannis Harbor Hawk Baseball Network. We'd like to take time to thank the Cape Cod Baseball League's corporate sponsors, including Mosquito Mary's. The Cape Cod Baseball League would like to welcome our new sponsor, Mosquito Mary's, a locally owned, family-operated business that provides all natural mosquito and tick control services. Call 866-ASK-MARY or go to mosquitomarys.com. Mention the Cape Cod Baseball League and get your first treatment for only $29. We would also like to thank 99 Restaurants. The 99 Restaurant and Pub is proud to be a sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Visit your local 99 and try their famous colossal lobster rolls, piled high on grilled brioche and served hot buttered or with just the right amount of mayo and celery with fries and coleslaw. The 99, always the real deal. Thank you for tuning into today's game in the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network, where it's a great day to be a Hawk.
And this is a broadcast of Hyannis Harbor Hawks baseball on the Hyannis Harbor Hawk Baseball Network. We'd like to take time to thank the Cape Cod Baseball League's corporate sponsors, including Coca-Cola Bottling of New England. Cape Cod Coca-Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod Coca-Cola has been proudly refreshing the community for over 30 years, and we're honored to support the CCBL and many other wonderful organizations on the Cape. Fairway Financial. Fairway Financial is a proud national sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. If you want to hit a home run with your retirement income plan, visit fairwayfinancial.net and ask for owner and host family sponsor Steve Enzuoni, Cape Cod's retirement income specialist. That's fairwayfinancial.net. Thank you for tuning in to today's game in the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network, where it's a great day to be a Hawk. Back in the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network, Drake Toll alongside Austin Dakuda, joined by Bria Losick on the baseline tonight, and Zach Berman also in the booth with us, alongside our producers Abby Stokes and Ella Gibson. And Austin, it's a new pitcher for the Harbor Hawks.
Seth Logue making his season debut, and for the Harbor Hawks, they've unfortunately had to really dig deep into this bullpen, Drake, and obviously not what they were hoping tonight with Baumeister getting the start. Hopes were high. He just didn't have his best stuff early. Magdalene Cotto went a couple of innings, was pretty good until he ran into a rough patch in the third. And then they give way to West Burton, who, again, a little bit off tonight. I think part of it's contending with this tight strike zone. The guys weren't able to really pick as much as they could on the corners, and now we're here. And the fourth pitcher of the night for the Harbor Hawks, and 2 ducks on the pond for Wareham, and their lead could definitely expand even further.
Seth Logue, the pride of Kentucky. The Wildcat comes into the ball game. He's got 3. We have 3 total Kentucky guys on this Harbor Hawk baseball team.
We'll see one of them tomorrow, I believe, as a starting pitcher.
That sounds right. Austin Strickland. First batter that Logue will see is Connor O'Brien. O'Brien's third at-bat, and a big cut and a miss on the first pitch. Solid stuff from Logue already.
That's some good velo.
Baseball family, his brother Zach, 3-year pitcher at Kentucky, and now a current Oakland Athletic.
Logue is 90 to 92 on the fastball. He's got the breaking ball there for the called strike. Breaking ball range from 78 to about 82.
Zach also an ex-Cape League guy as well. Spent the summer of 2016 with the Orleans Firebirds.
There's a ball fouled away on the 0-2, and Logue trying to work quick here. 0-2 attacking the zone.
Also a former high school teammate of fellow Kentucky Wildcat and Hyannis Harbor Hawk Austin Strickland. What do you know?
Wow. 0-2 count. Logue's pitch, the called strike with 2 in scoring position and 2 outs here. Seth Logue comes on and gets the backwards K. Your score, Wareham 7, Harbor Hawks 2 as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning, and Hyannis tries to add a couple of more. This, the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network. I'm broadcaster Drake Toll, and this is a broadcast of Hyannis Harbor Hawk Baseball on the Hyannis Harbor Hawk Baseball Network. I'd like to take time to thank the Cape Cod Baseball League's corporate sponsors, including Curry College. Curry College is where you go to become anything you want. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers with learning beyond the classroom. Explore undergraduate programs, NCAA Division III athletics, and continuing education and graduate studies, including 5th-year master's programs at curry.edu. Franklin Sports. The Hyannis Harbor Hawks would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again the proud official batting glove sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. Cape Cod, the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves. Thank you for tuning into today's game in the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network, where it's a great day. Welcome back to the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network. Drake Toll joined by Austin Dakuda and Zach Berman today. Bria Losick's on the baseline for you. Score is 7-2, and back on the mound for the Wareham Gatemen. Or out on the mound.
Wyatt Hudipole.
Yep, Hudipole coming in.
So listen to this. Wyatt Hudipole, also a Kentucky Wildcat.
How many we've seen today? It's a
also
third Kentucky pitcher today.
From Mason, Ohio, like Austin Strickland and Seth Logue, did not go to the same high school. Strickland and Logue went to Archbishop Moeller, whereas Hudipole went to St. Xavier.
I can only imagine they were high school rivals.
Both, all 3 of them natives of Mason, Ohio, Cincinnati area. Hudipole stands 6'4", 220. And they also teammates together for the Waynesboro Generals of the Valley Baseball League.
Wow.
Ever been to Waynesboro?
Can't say that I have.
I have not.
I don't even know what state it's in.
I believe Kentucky.
Michigan, number 34.
And
Then no.
Tito Flores coming to the plate for Hyannis. Had a hit against Chatham on Tuesday. Looking at Hudipole's synergy numbers, the velo he's going to bring to the game today is, well, 94 miles an hour, topping out on the fastball, but he sits typically 90 to 92. The off speed coming in at 76 to 80. Tito Flores stands in. First pitch that he sees is a called ball high.
Listen to this stat. You want to talk about a guy from a family of athletes. His uncle, Joe Hudipole, 3-time Olympic medal winner in swimming, including 2 gold during the 92 and 96 Olympics.
There's a ball squirted past Blake White on the right side of the field as Tito Flores will have his second hit on the year, and he'll be safe at first base with nobody down here in the bottom of the fourth inning. That's a couple pitches in, and Hudipol's already allowed a base runner. That brings Philip Matulia to the plate now with one man on and nobody out here. Following up Matulia in this game is going to be Dominic Patelli, the shortstop out of Miami. But first, you'll have to deal with the right fielder in today's game, Louisiana Tech guy who has his own Barstool T-shirts, about 30 of them, sitting in Director of Operations Mazdak Darvari's car today.
Man, I'm thinking about getting one.
Yeah, Philip Matulia swings and misses. $30. There's your free plug today. So anybody out there that wants a Philip Matulia shirt, they're pretty darn awesome, too, aren't they, Mazdak Darvari?
Mazdak flashes the thumbs up.
One on, nobody out. Hudipol sets the righty, delivering to Philip Matulia. Matulia cracks that one right to the shortstop. The play is duffed. Matulia safe at first, safe at second. All around, Tito Flores, Philip Matulia, both on with nobody out now, and an error will be charged to Hausinger.
And now you have to get something out of this frame. All of a sudden, a hit makes it a 4-run game, of course, and Patelli somehow cranks one over the fence. He got a brand new ball game, but this set up a scenario, possibly Riku Nishida with multiple guys on, and someone that does not strike out very often.
Squeeze.
Potential squeeze?
Loaded. He's
Squeeze down 5?
Oh, he's bunting. If the base is loaded,
Austin
Riku's coming
Dakuda,
up,
you don't like runs.
I love runs,
I
love Riku Nishida infield singles even more.
First pitch to Dominic Patelli is well outside.
Did have 4 home runs this season.
Yeah, Patelli played his summer last
8
year
home
in
runs,
Kalamazoo.
excuse me.
I can tell you, Kalamazoo to Hyannis.
I've never been in Kalamazoo.
Very
Have you ever been in
different.
Kalamazoo?
I tell you, I'm glad that I haven't. I'm glad that if we have any listeners out there in Kalamazoo, I apologize. I bet I would love it if I went. 0-1 count, make it 2-0 count. The scoreboard, it'll get you.
Duluth or Kalamazoo?
I was thinking,
Duluth is on the water.
Duluth has that lake, apparently, that Zach won't stop talking. Zach loves the Duluth
No,
lake.
I've never been to Duluth, but I have
Duluth is
spent plenty of time in the great state of Minnesota, and it is quite
A
pretty.
lot of lakes. A lot of lakes.
10,000 of them, approximately.
You think so? 2-0 count. Patelli swings and misses on a fastball inside for Hudipol. In Kalamazoo, he had a total of 149 plate appearances. It is remarkable to me how many games the Northwoods plays.
68, I believe.
It is.
That's a lot.
Yeah, they push 70. There's a lot. It's very similar to minor league baseball. You get a great taste. As Patelli grounds one on the right side. This one's picked up by the first baseman. Toss over to Hudipol, who's there on the bag. You're going to advance both Philip Matulia and Tito Flores to second and third base. So you get a job done, and now you bring up Riku Nishida with 1 out, 2 in scoring position. Here in the bottom of the fourth, I don't think you do.
Not here now. I mean, well, I still see him bunting. Not a squeeze, but he could bunt. I mean, that's what Riku likes to do. He likes to drop the bunt with guys on base to get a run home.
All right,
we'll
now
see what he does.
Cleans the plate.
And he's got his routine that he goes through. Riku Nishida stepping up is certainly the toughest out on this team, starting second baseman in the 9-hole today for Hyannis. Following him is Nolan Shaniel as the first pitch Nishida sees a hard foul ball toward the dugout on the left side. Down to the count 0-1.
Boy, barring something crazy, you're going to get Shaniel on with multiple guys on. Or at least one.
No balls and 1 strike to Riku Nishida. Runner on second and third. 1 out. Nishida waits the pitch from Hudipol. This one's grounded right back at Hudipol, who checks the runner at third, goes to first. The out's recorded there. There are 2 Harbor Hawks standing at third base. Philip Matulia is in a pickle. And sliding back safely into third is Tito Flores. Matulia goes back to second. What a horrendously bad play by the Wareham game when they had 2 Harbor Hawks standing on the same base. And Matulia was waiting for the pickle. Flores was effectively standing on third, and they tried to throw him out there.
I have never seen in my life a team get away with a base running error.
They went after the wrong guy.
Yeah, you have to go after Matulia. That's exactly
Matulia was waiting for the pickle, and they just decided to not even acknowledge that he was there. They throw right back at Flores.
Shades of Will Craig on the Pittsburgh Pirates last year.
Oh, my. 2 outs now. Second and third for the Harbor Hawks, and the leadoff batter at the plate. Taking ball 1 that gets away from Peter Burns, but he collects it in time to keep Tito Flores at third. But it's Nolan Shaniel. Shaniel had a hit earlier in the ball game, led off the game with a hit, actually, on the year. Shaniel, 133 coming in, 1 for 13.
I mean, man, all you got to do is throw back to second.
That's not
Just
right.
run at Matulia, and then you make him make a decision, because if he goes to third, you toss it to third and he's out. If he goes to second, you toss it to second. But you have to run at the runner.
The pitch from Hudipole. This one fouled off the right side.
Not by much.
No, Nolan Shaniel fouled it off of himself, it looks like. So that'll make it 1-1 now.
This feels like such a big spot here. If Shaniel can get something through the infield, it likely scores 2. And all of a sudden, a 3-run game is nothing. The Hawks have not scored more than 3 runs per game this season.
1-1 to Shaniel. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. The pitch from Hudipole. A ball outside. Peter Burns tried to bring it back in and couldn't.
I'm still baffled by that last one.
And 2-1, Shaniel ahead. Hudipole checks Tito Flores at third base. Nobody keeping him there. Comes back to Shaniel. Shaniel grounds this one foul on the right side toward the Wareham dugout. Now a 2-2 count. 2 outs here. 2 runs on the board for Hyannis. 2 on.
I'm going to give credit there to Tito Flores because the second that Hudipole went over towards third, Tito made locked eye contact in with him. Might have psyched him out.
The 2-2. There's a high foul ball out of play on the left side on a breaking ball that just missed a little bit, and Shaniel couldn't take advantage of it.
That is a great play by Nolan Shaniel. That was in on his hands. Couldn't do anything with it. Likely would have been called a strike as well. Nice job doing anything possible to fend that off, keep himself alive in the at-bat.
Another 2-2 from Hudipole. Another breaking ball. Shaniel skies this one to left field, going back, and making the grab is the center fielder, Ian Farrow. An unbelievable play. Windish came over for it, too. Farrow called him off and made that catch ankle level. Save some damage with runners on second and third. The Harbor Hawks can't do anything with it. Your score, Wareham 7, Hyannis 2. We head to the top of the 5th in the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network.
I'm broadcaster Austin Dakuda, and this is a broadcast of Hyannis Harbor Hawks baseball on the Hyannis Harbor Hawk Baseball Network. We'd like to take time to thank the Cape Cod Baseball League's corporate sponsors, including the Yawkey Foundation. Tom and Gene Yawkey were passionate about the game of baseball. Over their 7 decades as owners of the Boston Red Sox, the Yawkeys greatly invested in youth and amateur athletics in our community. They recognize the important skills baseball can bring to players both on and off the field: cooperation, respect, teamwork, friendships, and confidence. The Yawkey Foundation has been proud to support the Cape League for more than 25 years. The Better Business Bureau. The Better Business Bureau is partnering with the Cape Cod Baseball League this year to help you find a trusted business at bbb.org. Thank you for tuning into today's game in the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network, where it's a great day to be a Hawk.
Back in the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network, Drake Toll alongside Zach Berman, Austin Dakuda as well. Bria Losk joining us on the baseline. Want to thank T-Mobile. T-Mobile is a proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. T-Mobile believes that when small towns thrive, America thrives. That's why they're investing billions to bring fast, reliable, and affordable wireless service beyond the big cities to small towns across America. There's never been a better time to join T-Mobile. Visit T-Mobile.com/across America to find out more. Peter Burns steps to the plate to start us off in the 5th inning here. Working against Seth Logue. There's a ball outside. The first pitch that Burns will see from Logue. Logue recorded the last out of the 4th inning to keep it at a goose egg for Wareham, as the next pitch he throws is outside of the zone. And 2-1 now. Check that to 1-1 as the next pitch is high. Now 2-1. See the big Osprey coming in over the field for Hyannis.
When are we going to get a fish dropped onto the field? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, 2 of them right there converging in left field, swooping up over the light poles. Those are the true Harbor Hawks that nest here at McKeon Park and Judy Walden Scarifiel Field.
We should name them.
Oh boy, how many are there?
I don't know. At least 2. There's one. Second one takes off.
There, yeah.
He's
coming right over the field, too.
Flapping his wings. Now he takes a. Ooh.
There's a called strike on the 3-0.
So it was 3.
Yeah, now 3-1.
Apparently the names are Ozzy and Harry per
Harry the Harbor Hawk. Huh. All right. I see what they did there. A little alliteration. A 3-1 pitch. That was a called strike, and Seth Logue might have gotten away with one right there. Home plate umpire looks friendly upon the team down 7-2. The umpires in general have. A full count to the first batter at the top of the 5th inning. That ball's eye level and outside for a walk. Peter Burns trots down to third base. And following Burns in the lineup will be Tremaine Cobb Jr., the 9-hole hitter.
I know you love your eye-level fastballs, just maybe not there.
No. Tremaine Cobb Jr. struck out in his last at-bat against Magdiel Cotto. One of the more demoralizing strikeouts we've seen in the first couple of games. Cotto got him with a breaking ball, and Cobb Jr. dropped all the way down to a knee as he swings through his shoes on that one and misses at a fastball from Seth Logue. Tremaine Cobb Jr. out of Hartford. Plays shortstop there for the Hawks. Cobb the DH today in the 9-hole. Next pitch he sees, that's called ball inside of a backdoor pick and nothing doing for Peter Burns at first base. The Harbor Hawk fans thought that Jacob Campbell
good throw
had recorded an out at first. Really good throw. Shandel coming right across the tag and a close play there. You seldom get that call, even when it is a true out.
Right. It's so hard to tell because it's such a bang-bang play, and he probably got his hand in on the backside of the bag before the tag swiped across. But, I mean, you can't make much better of a throw than that.
Here's one that Cobb sends into left field for a base hit. Be a true single, and it's duffed in left. Peter Burns going to turn and go to third. The throw's not in time. The throw gets away from Rocco Pepe at third base, but he's able to recollect it. And now Tremaine Cobb Jr. is going to be at second base with a single and then an error on Tito Flores that sends him to second. And Peter Burns standing at third with nobody out in the top of the 5th inning.
Sometimes, it's, like I said, just one of those nights where
I can only imagine they scored that an error.
One would
an E7,
assume.
A single and an E7. But we've yet to see the error mark thrown on the scoreboard.
Missing an error on the scoreboard as well.
Yeah. And now you go back to the top of the lineup and Jack Hausinger. First pitch to Hausinger is a ball high and outside from Seth Logue. Hausinger has nobody out. And a free base over there at first, as there are 2 on. This is his 4th plate appearance of the day. Hausinger cuts and misses at the 1-0 fastball outside.
There's been an uncharacteristic number of errors tonight between the two teams. I mean, Wareham has 2, Hyannis now with likely 1 after that score comes in. Usually you don't see this many errors in a game.
It sounds like they have not scored an error in left.
Well, that's interesting.
They're going to give Tremaine Cobb Jr. a double that he likely doesn't deserve.
Yeah, I mean, that's a single, and I just have to say.
And I got to tell you right now,
yeah.
I'm looking at the scores right now across the league. There are some crooked numbers. Coutuit up 6 on Bourne. Brewster up 6 on Orleans.
Wow. Well, night 4. Everybody got a day off yesterday and came back today with a vengeance. 7-2 your score here. Hyannis trailing Wareham at the top of the 5th inning with nobody out and 2 on. The 1-2 pitch becomes a 2-2 with a ball outside. For Seth Logue out of Kentucky, facing Jack Hausinger, the infielder.
Falmouth up 5-2 on Chatham. YD and Harwich tied at 1 apiece.
Well, some things never change for our friends at YD this season.
Well, Coutuit is well on their way to 4-0 at this point.
There's a ball outside. Count runs full to 3-2 against the leadoff hitter, Jack Hausinger. Hausinger, 13 home runs this season for Xavier. Swiped 12 bags. He's thrown out just 3 times. 3-2 count. Nobody out. Tremaine Cobb Jr. is at second base. Peter Burns is at third. Payoff pitch. This one's popped up, skied high on the infield. Riku Nishida comes over. Dominic Patelli calls him up. Patelli nearly loses it, catches it back shoulder, throws back into Campbell, and everybody's safe. The out's recorded, but I think Patelli was worried that Peter Burns was going to try to tag and score from third. There's no way he could have, but Patelli, I guess he didn't think he had time and decided to come back leg and toss it out to Campbell. Just an awkward play there for the Harbor Hawks.
Yeah, he's probably better off coming set and making a strong throw either way, but luckily nobody tags up, and that's a big out number 1 in this situation. Now you can leave the infield in and try to pick up an out number 2.
Disaster written all over it. Almost feels like a lucky break.
Hausinger goes to Hogan Windish. Windish on the game today. No hits and a few plate appearances, 2 at-bats as he has a hit in the left side of the field. That's going to score Peter Burns and will hold Tremaine Cobb Jr. at third. A single and a run scored, an RBI there for Hausinger. Make it Hogan Windish. We'll put runners at the corners now with 1 out for Seth Logue.
So 8 runs in a game. That is a new season high for the league.
Wow. 8-2.
And, of course, before it was 8-2, it was 7-2. And 7 is hopefully the game number that the Boston Celtics send the series back to.
A bit of a stretch.
Yeah, that was tough.
3 out of 10.
3 out of 10, but who do we think Game 6 is tonight?
That's tonight, yeah. Max Anderson's at the plate now. Anderson takes a ball high. Tremaine Cobb Jr. at third. Standing at first base after the RBI singles, Hogan Windish.
I got to tell you, I was at Fenway last night, and some brave soul decided to show up in a Draymond jersey.
Oh, wow.
The worst.
There's a cut and a miss from Max Anderson.
Draymond jersey and a Houston Astros hat.
Oh,
okay. Well, they're a bit confused, it
just
seems.
trying to get in a fight.
Almost as bad as wearing a Derek Jeter jersey to Fenway, I'd say.
Well, I've done that before.
Somebody has, yeah. Somebody I know.
I mean, people do it when the Yankees play, but it's just
1-1 count. Another fastball high. 2-1 now for Seth Logue on Max Anderson.
I mean, look, I'm at most Mizzou basketball games every year, which is maybe not the best thing, considering the team's,
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
the team's past, but there's always that one guy
2-1, high fastball and a swing and a miss from
that
Max
feels
Anderson.
the need to show up in a Kansas Jayhawks anything.
Are you that guy?
No,
Okay,
no.
okay.
Why would I be that guy?
I was just hoping.
But
Well, you were last night,
of course I was.
so I had to ask.
Of course I was last
you were a
night.
Yankees hat to an Athletics Red Sox game. So.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta rep my boys.
2-2. Logue throws a ball low. Runs the count full on Anderson.
I will say though, it was if you haven't been to Fenway, it's a special place. It is really. I know, Austin, you have your choice thoughts.
It's a historic park, right? I mean, the energy's different. It's great field.
This was
great
the
fun
first
ball
time I had
game.
ever been to Fenway for a game that was not Yankee Sox, and it was a very different, more relaxed atmosphere than what I was used to at Fenway. Because when I think Fenway, I think intensity. I just think, everyone's so into the action. But it was a Wednesday night, beautiful night.
3-2. That's a ball high, and it'll send Max Anderson to first base, loading the bases with 1 out here in the top of the 5th. 1 run has already come across, and Anderson turns into the 4-hole hitter, second baseman Blake Wright. What is the significance of the number 9 to both of you?
Number 9.
Yep, 9. 9's the number I'm giving you right now.
Well,
If Tremaine Cobb Jr. crosses home plate, Wareham has 9 runs.
That is true. Not what I'm looking for, but true. That's good. It's a great start. As that ball gets away from Jacob Campbell, Tremaine
There
Cobb
you
Jr. will come home.
There's your
Slide.
9.
Slides in plenty safely. That is the 9th run of the game for Wareham. Now I wish I would have, I almost wish.
what was the
been on
answer you
top
were
of
looking
that.
for?
Harbor Hawks have walked 9 batters today.
That's
9 Wareham batters.
Unfortunate that especially here on Cape Cod, you're not going to win many games when you walk 9 batters.
No, you're probably not. Now there's runners on second and third after the pass ball. The next pitch from Seth Lowe's a called strike, and we'll see if they rule that a pass ball or a wild pitch.
Well, you know what's so great about baseball?
They may rule it a hit at this rate, honestly.
You can walk 9 batters, you can get blown out, and it still is going to look the same on your record as a close loss would.
Yeah, that's a great point. Big cut and a miss from Blake Wright. What is number 7? What does that mean to you guys?
One of my lucky numbers.
All right, one of Zach Berman's lucky numbers. That is
Believe it
not
is-
what I was looking for.
I believe it is Mickey Mantle's number.
Okay.
Am I right about
Well,
that?
I don't know. I'll have to fact check.
Unfortunately, I was not alive to watch him play, so I don't quite remember.
He wasn't alive to watch you play.
That's correct.
That's on him. 2-2. One out here. 2 on.
Yes, it was Mickey Mantle's number. Okay.
Wow, okay.
So what are you, 7 what?
You half point.
Oh, the run differential, 9-2?
Very nicely done. No, not what I was looking for.
I thought you said you weren't a math guy.
7 is the amount of walks that the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. There's a called strike with a breaking ball on the inside part of the plate for old Seth Logue. Blake Wright, 4-hole hitter with runners on second and third, is sat down via the backwards K. 7 is the number of walks the Hyannis Harbor Hawks dished out in the first 3 games combined.
Yeah, it's one of those nights. I mean, you are working with a smaller strike zone tonight, okay? It's been documented. We've seen it both ways, but it's just been a little bit of everything here with the pitching staff. They're a very talented group, and I'm sure they'll get it together very quickly.
First pitch from Loeb to Ian Farrows, a called ball low and outside.
What is the significance of the number 2?
That'd be Derek Jeter's number.
Actually, I was not looking for that. That is actually the number of iced coffees I've had today.
Wow. Thrown down 2 bangs so far. There's a hit and a base hit on the left side. Fair by about 1.5 foot. Going to be extra bases. 2 runs will come home, and standing up into second base goes Ian Farrow. It is now 11-2. It's a 4 spot here in the top of the 5th inning for Wareham. They put up 4 before Hyannis could record an out in the first. Put up 3 in the third, and now 4 in the 5th. 11 runs, 9 hits, 1 error for Wareham, 2 runs, 4 hits, and 1 error for Hyannis. Farrow now becomes Kellum Clark stepping into the left-hander's batter's box.
Well, here comes the toughest out of the night. Kellum Clark, 3 for 3, 2 doubles, 3 RBI. We'll see if Logue can limit any more further damage here.
First pitch that he sees, this one hit foul on the left side. Foul by about 6 feet. That one in a similar spot to where Farrow put his double.
Now, as the resident optimist, I guess.
You can have that. I'll give you that. Yes.
Sure, I will. I'll have to ask our director of broadcast, Harrison Myers, what the largest comeback in Hyannis Harbor Hawk or Hyannis Met history is. I get the feeling he would know.
Probably so. I get the feeling it's more than 9, likely, over the course of a 100-year history, right? Nearly 100 years.
We had a big comeback last year, but it didn't result in a win.
Was it bigger than 9 runs?
It was quite the slugfest in Harwich. I think the final score was like 18-16 or something. Or 16-14. It was a crazy game. We were down 8-0 out of the gate.
What
ended up being an 8-7 game at one point.
What is the significance the number 2 means to both of you right now? Different than Mr. Berman's. 2-1 count with 2 outs, but number 2. This one's timely, by the way. It's about to change to 1. Yeah.
I don't know.
That's your hint.
2-1.
In 2 minutes, we will play baseball for 2 hours and 6 minutes. That was the total of Game 1 between Wareham and Hyannis. We have not yet hit the halfway point through today's game.
Well, get comfy. If anyone was hoping to be home for the Celtics game, I have an iPad you can borrow.
That number has now changed to 1. We are 1 minute away.
Oh, okay.
As
60 seconds have ticked away.
Watching the clock has become kind of a fun game now. Turn the seconds on and you just let it roll. 2-2. Cut and a miss. Kellum Clark goes down swinging. Let a little bit of the damage, but 4 runs come across in the top of the 5th for Wareham. The score is ballooned to 11-2. Hyannis trails it. This, the Hyannis Harbor Hawk Baseball Network. I'm broadcaster Drake Toll, and this is a broadcast of Hyannis Harbor Hawk Baseball on the Hyannis Harbor Hawk Baseball Network. I'd like to take time to thank the Cape Cod Baseball League's corporate sponsors, including Curry College. Curry College is where you go to become anything you want. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers with learning beyond the classroom. Explore undergraduate programs, NCAA Division III athletics, and continuing education and graduate studies, including 5th-year master's programs at curry.edu. Franklin Sports. The Hyannis Harbor Hawks would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again the proud official batting glove sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. Cape Cod, the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves. Thank you for tuning into today's game in the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network, where it's a great day. Back to the Hyannis Harbor Hawk Baseball Network. You know, there's Socrates And then there's Jimmy Eat World. They once said it just takes some time. Little by little. It just takes some time.
I get
Little by little.
I get the feeling that you were the first person to use the names Socrates and Jimmy Eat World in the same sentence.
Everything will be just fine. Everything will be all right. It just takes some time. I also didn't know until pulling up the lyrics. I've always thought it was little by little. Turns out
It is what?
it just takes some time. Little girl, you're in the middle of the ride.
For the Harbor Hawks, the designated hitter from
I would say
Illinois
this. I don't think
Champaign, number
Socrates
13,
ever used the word
Justin
little girl
Hyannis.
in any of his great quotes.
Well, Justin,
So, back to the game.
And Justin Hyannis steps in. Harbor Hawks, the number 2 hole hitter. Trailing 11-2 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. First pitch he sees, a fastball high, chest level, and outside, lays off of it. As back out on the bump is Hudipole. Hudipole has thrown a total of 17 pitches now. As Hyannis fouls that one off, make it 18.
I will be honest with you. I will
12
take the musical choices here over the musical choices that I had to deal with last summer at the Fremont Moo.
Well, I'll tell you this. Here's a fun fact for those out there listening that are wondering how well their son may be faring here in Hyannis or getting along with his teammates. These guys have such great chemistry, and they all combined today to make a playlist for the stadium. They call it McKeon Ballpark. McKeon Game Day is what it's called. And so
I thought you made that. I just got it shared with me.
Well, I pitched the idea to Wes after after the first home game. They thought we'd love to spice it up and have our own choice. And so I said, Wes, I'll tell you what, let's all get together and put one together. So about 10 guys got together as there is a 5-pitch walk on the 3-1 count to Justin Hyannis.
I'm sorry. I opened it up. The first thing I see is Rockstar by Nickelback, and I immediately closed it.
That was the song that I added.
Of course it was you.
Beach, number 2, Rocco.
It's funny.
Pepe.
Rocco Pepe steps to the plate now. The third baseman today, playing the old hot corner for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks.
Did you ever play baseball?
Did I play baseball? Zach, where's that one coming from?
Well, you gotta give me a yes or a no before I give.
Well,
give you the
I'll tie together first. When I opened the playlist, I was surprised to find it was all. Well, I wasn't surprised. I was not surprised to find that it was almost entirely rap music, with a little Nirvana from our friend Wes Burton split in there as well.
I like that.
So I had to go in and said, look, there are a lot of families that come out, and those from the older generations who would love to hear a bit of AC/DC or some White Snake or Cinderella. So we threw some classic rock in there as well to appease everyone. Built about a 5.5-hour playlist, pretty solid.
And I don't have Spotify, so I can't listen to any of it.
So, really good music choice. You think about the music choice for those that are listening, as there's a hard line out from Rocco Pepe right at the second baseman. Blake Wright, a solid play on the hop, and one done with a runner at first base here in the bottom of the 5th. But
well, you never answered my question.
Yeah, I was going to ask, why did you ask him if he played
baseball?
baseball?
And that, just for those at home, the guys get to listen to their own music. They're all happy. Everybody's doing well. I today tried for the first. I'm deflecting your question, by the way. I tried today for the first time.
So no.
Wes Burton fed me out of his hand. He wouldn't let me take it. He's just Wes Burton. A chocolate chip peanut butter granola bar. And I know what you're thinking. Okay, they sell those. No. What these guys like to do is buy granola bars, take a jar of peanut butter. The coaches have provided white bread, peanut butter, and jelly. They don't like peanut butter and jelly. They take the granola bars,
and dip
lather peanut butter on them, and then eat them as their pregame snack here in Hyannis. There's a cut and a miss from Cole McConnell.
Well, you're dodging my question.
So Drake Toll noted did not play baseball. We'll put
that
down.
I did play baseball.
Okay, did you have a walk-up song?
I did have a walk-up song.
It?
My walk-up song was Amazing by Kanye West.
That's a good choice.
I liked it. I liked it a lot. There's a called strike on the breaking ball outside half the plate. Now a 1-2 count, one out here, and a runner on first base in the bottom of the 5th. It was good. I didn't hear it very often. I wasn't good enough to hear it very often, but it was there in case.
I feel like if I played today, it would be a very different choice.
A very different choice as
opposed to when I actually did.
There's a called strike 3 on Cole McConnell. That one was outside. We've seen that outside pitch called for a strike multiple times today. We see it again there. This one does not help out the center fielder McConnell.
Catcher
Sends him
from
back to the
Illinois
dugout with
Champaign,
2
number
outs.
25, Jacob
And Jacob Campbell, the catcher, coming at the plate.
Well, an 11-2 ball game, it's probably a pitch you got to fight off, foul off, and we'll try to get another one, maybe a better pitch later on in the at-bat. But unfortunately for McConnell, he's going to head back to the dugout.
2 down, Campbell up at the plate. Campbell.
I am very excited for something you have planned in the next 2 or 3 innings.
Yeah, so far this season. Campbell has a batting average of .286, came in batting .400, but he's 0 for 2 in this ball game. 2 for 7 now. Through the first 4 ball games. He's got a hit on this one. He sends it to center field. That one's recovered by the right fielder, Clark, who dishes it back in. The ball gets away from the second baseman, but no trouble made as there are now runners on the corners.
Nice piece of hitting.
Yeah, Justin Janus is able to move over to third, and now you have, after the single, Campbell at first, Janus at third, and to the plate for the Harbor Hawks, the left fielder, Tito Flores.
Had a nice hit in his last at-bat. We'll see if it can carry over here with a couple guys on base. It would be nice for the Harbor Hawks to put a little 2-out rally together, maybe close the gap a bit and get back into this thing.
Tito Flores played his last summer in Traverse City in the Northwoods
That is a
League.
place I have never been.
Where is that?
Michigan.
Traverse City, Michigan.
The Pit Spitters. That is a real team name.
42 and 29 last season. That's not bad.
What is a pit spitter?
Well, a pit would be like a seed inside of a fruit.
I was
And
thinking
so,
I was thinking
pits-
like a NASCAR pit.
Oh.
Pit spitter would
Oh.
be someone who takes said pit and spits it.
Their mascot is
I
an
think.
anthropomorphic cherry.
Okay,
what?
yes.
Well, Michigan, they do grow a lot of cherries in the state of Michigan.
Common fact, right? I think we're all thinking it.
Yeah,
The 1-0.
Because
right on my mind.
I got
exactly.
I got the
You read
Pit
my
Spitters confused.
Well, if Zach didn't say it, I was going to.
I got it confused with the Fond du Lac dock spiders.
Ah, yes.
Also,
I can see how
naturally-
that gets confused.
so the first time
Just
I
one
saw
over. Just
Yeah,
one
first
over.
time I saw Pit Spitters, I read it as Pit Spiders.
Ah,
Pit
yes.
spider. Now,
I mean,
pit
common-
spider.
Yeah.
Right.
But what if you just said the Wonder Lake or whatever the last team was? I've never heard of either.
There's a ball fouled off.
Fond du
2-1.
Lac, Wisconsin. They have the
Okay.
That's the place in the movie animated 2001 DreamWorks hit Shrek. Fond du Lac. That was the town.
Yes, it was. I believe so. I don't think it was.
No, it was Duloc.
Duloc.
How do you know all these random cities and towns there, Zach Berman?
I don't. I've been to like 47 states. I've lost count.
2-1. I've been to 47 states. I've lost count.
46. Okay, I've been to 46. The 4 I haven't been to: Oklahoma, New
You've
Mexico.
never been. Wow.
Never
Of
been to
all the
Oklahoma.
states you've never been to.
Oklahoma, New Mexico, Alaska, Hawaii. That's it.
Okay,
Well,
Alaska,
that
Hawaii
would
makes
be
sense.
46 states you've been to.
46.
No.
I crossed a couple off the list.
So 47 was not true.
47 was not
Uh-oh.
true.
Fib.
Can't
Okay.
confirm.
2-2, 2 on, 2 outs. That one's fouled off fouled off of his foot.
Do you know the
Tito
state
Flores.
that I have visited that I have spent the least amount of time in? Michigan. What did I do in Michigan, you might ask? Well, my criteria
was
for
just going
visiting
to. I
my
mean,
criteria
close.
for visiting a state
Didn't give me time to ask.
is if you're driving through, you have to pull off the highway and spend American currency somewhere.
Do you
it
have
could be
to?
yes.
This is the
my
Zach
criteria.
Berman.
Airports do not count. Layovers do not count.
Okay.
I've laid over in Detroit. I would not count it. I was driving back from Columbia, Missouri to my hometown of Monmouth Beach, New Jersey,
2-2,
as you were saying.
2 outs, 2 on. Here's the pitch, Tito Flores. Flores grounds this one foul to the left side, and Zach Berman continues.
And I decided to pull off Interstate 80, drive maybe about 2-3 miles up over the Michigan border, went to Dairy Queen, got a blizzard, got right back on the highway, and got right out of Michigan. That is the
Checked
only
off
thing I have
Michigan.
ever I checked off Michigan.
Dairy
There you
Queen
go.
in Michigan.
Yes.
Zach
How you
Berman, that's
doing?
it. That's the bingo. I have crossed
There we
off
go.
all 5.
Surfboard
What's your
to the
prize?
head.
Wakeboard, not a
Bishop-
surfboard.
Okay, well, Bishop Sycamore, Michigan visit, free space,
Free
and
space.
Trader Joe's cold brew, I think was the last one. So
He fouls
we
it off, and
have
we
a
keep
Berman
going.
bingo.
So, I mean,
4 games in.
Happy
by the
game
way.
4 there.
Yeah.
4 games
Good
in.
to
I
see
do
it.
want to go back to Michigan maybe to see the Kalamazoo Growlers.
Ah, yes, I definitely want to make the trip for the Kalamazoo
I mean, some of
Growlers.
these Northwood,
Bucket list. Some
some of
say.
these North,
That's at the top
some of
right
these
there.
Northwoods League named teams. I mean, the Mankato Moondogs, Rochester Honkers. What is a honker?
I don't think we can say that on the air. 2-2. Oh, here's one. Drilled deep into left field and not deep enough. The catch is made at the warning track, drifting over the left fielder, Windish. Hogan makes the play for the third out of the 5th inning, and that'll do it through 5. Your score, Wareham 11. Your Hyannis Harbor Hawks 2. This, the Hyannis Harbor Hawk Baseball Network.
I'm sideline reporter Bria Losick, and this is a broadcast of Hyannis Harbor Hawks baseball on the Hyannis Harbor Hawk Baseball Network. We'd like to take time to thank the Cape Cod Baseball League's corporate sponsors, including Cape Cod 5 Cent Saving Bank. Cape Cod 5 is proud to be a long-standing supporter of the Cape Cod Baseball League and its contribution to the local economy as a treasured summer attraction. Cape Cod 5 is a community bank serving customers throughout Cape Cod, the islands, and southeastern Massachusetts. Founded in 1855, the bank's mission is to enrich the lives of those it serves while contributing to the health and vitality of its communities. Cape Cod 5 provides a full range of banking solutions, including personal and business banking, residential mortgages, investment management, and trust services, and Coca-Cola Bottling of New England. Cape Cod Coca-Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Please remember to recycle your empty bottles, cans, and all other recyclable materials. Thank you for tuning in to today's game in the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network, where it's a great day to be a Hawk.
Back to the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network. Drake Toll joined today by Zach Berman, Austin Dakuta, Bria Losick's our sideline reporter, Abby Stokes, and Ella Gibson doing the production today. Harbor Hawks will be in use of a new pitcher, another pitcher coming in. He goes by Volk on the Cape. Zach Volker coming in from Long Beach State to pitch. Second time that he's coming to a game this season. He faced off against Wareham in that opener that was in Wareham, not on Wareham, by the way.
In Wareham.
Yeah. Volker take the mound again in that game, gave up a couple of hits. In total, stats this season for Volker, 0-1, 2 innings pitched in total, 2 hits, 2 runs, but neither were earned. 2 strikeouts over the span of those 6 outs that he threw against Wareham. Volker originally hails from Granite Bay, Cal State Long Beach guy. Birth date, April 25th, 2001. Stands at 6'2", throws right, bats right. I bet I could probably keep going. The first guy that he's going to see for Wareham is Connor O'Brien, who's starting at first base today.
Well, to answer your question.
What was my question? I don't remember.
A honker is a goose.
Okay.
Like the bird.
Okay. That's good. That's more appropriate than what I thought it was going to be.
But their mascot, Slider, Slider, the mascot of the Rochester Honkers, looks like if you combined a goose and Mr. Met. Okay. It is a baseball that has like a beak. I've never seen that.
All right. First baseman O'Brien stands in. Volker comes above the head and is ready for the windup for the first pitch. Zach Volker, originally from San Joaquin Delta College. First pitch he throws is fouled off to the right side. Goes fastball low and in. A solid pitch for Volker to start his night.
I feel so bad admitting this. I looked down at my scorebook for a second. I almost read his name as Conan O'Brien.
No.
That is
not a baseball player.
Not a baseball player.
Volker, the 0-1 against O'Brien. That's a ball inside. O'Brien thought about it. Wisely lays off, but he evens the count at 1-all. Zach Volker has a brother who plays for Baylor University. Baylor University, the new home of Mitch Thompson, former coach at McLennan Community College, won the 2021 JUCO College World Series. There's a cut and a miss from O'Brien at a 1-2 count now. Mitch Thompson accepting the job to be Baylor's new skipper yesterday. So Matt Volker, the brother of Zach, will have a new head man in Waco. Volker ahead 1-2 to O'Brien. The pitch. O'Brien lets that one go nearly in the dirt on the right side of the plate. Volker's totals this season, or in the spring, fastball ranging up to 93 miles an hour, typically sitting around the 88 to 92 range. Off speed dropping down 78 to 82. Volker, nice pitch, just a little low. Blue wouldn't give it to him, and the count runs to 3-2 full.
I don't know how you lay off that pitch. That's just such a tough pitch to take.
I know, if
especially
you're an
with two
umpire, you
strikes.
got to call. Oh, I thought you were talking about the umpire. Okay. Payoff pitch on the first batter that Volker's seen tonight. He'll take a little extra time with this one. Sets and fires. There's a cut, and that one's fouled off the catcher, Jacob Campbell. 3-2, and the at-bat stays alive.
Wareham has spoiled so many good two-strike pitches tonight and extended at-bats.
Offensively, this is
usually
a very, very different-looking Wareham team than we saw night
It's
one.
usually led to extended at-bats that result in walks or guys getting on base.
Another 3-2 from Volker. This one's chopped right back up the middle. Dominic Patelli coming on. Patelli on the run. Patelli to first, and a nice play to Nolan Shanuel. That is what Patelli brings to the diamond for the Harbor Hawks defensively. On the run, scoops that ball, still running, and a nice throw to first. He understands how much time he has and doesn't try to overdo it with the throw when he knows he can focus on accuracy over velocity to get it there in time and at a position where Shanuel can make the play.
It's all so smooth, too. It's all done in a fluid motion, and he just has such an awareness of where the other infielders are, when a ball's his. Saw it a little bit in practice, and this guy is somebody who's going to be the starting shortstop for pretty much every game the rest of the way.
First pitch that Volker will send to Peter Burns, the ball low. Patelli played in 60 games for Miami this past season. That's a lot of games.
A lot of baseball.
Yeah. Next pitch. There's a cut and miss from Peter Burns.
Also, your casual 38 in Kalamazoo.
Should mention, Peter Burns is not that Peter Burns of SEC Network and ESPN.
And this is not Peter Burns. This is Cole Elvis.
Yes, it is. Thank you. Wouldn't you know? We don't get told much up here in the broadcast
We do
booth.
not. I just had Peter Burns down as a left-handed hitter.
Yep.
And then
So you
saw that
thought-
this guy's hitting right-handed, and I said, well, Zach Volker throws right-handed, so he's not a switch-hitting Peter Burns.
A 1-2 count on Elvis here now, too.
Cole Elvis out of UC Berkeley, out of Vacaville, California.
Yep.
6'1", 206. He is on the Buster Posey National Collegiate Catcher of the Year watch list.
That's probably good.
I'd say so. Buster Posey, good career, good player.
He was a Cape Cod League guy.
He was.
Won the Comeback Player of the Year last year, if I believe I'm correct.
He did, then he called it a career. Said, that's enough, thank you.
It's a high fly ball to right field. Matulia coming over, not in time, can't get there, but it lands in foul territory. Nobody hurt.
Hat comes off, got a good look at those locks in the right field.
Yeah, the big beard, the locks, has the bandana on today to hold it all back too. The headband.
That is
We'll
Jason
call it
Worth in right
headband.
field.
Yeah, it really is. Maybe a little bit smaller than Worth.
Yeah, Worth had some size at probably 6'4", I'd say.
Yeah.
266 batting average on the year.
For Jason Worth?
Right, I think.
For Cole Elvis.
Well, Elvis is down in the count, 1-2. One out. Top of the sixth inning. Volker sets, delivers. This one, line right at Patelli. Patelli makes the grab, the throw across the diamond. What a play and a stretch from Shanuel to charge the out. Dominic Patelli on the run, on the back foot. Flash the glove.
Well, he's been on SportsCenter Top 10 once, and there you go. If it's a slow night, that might actually make its way on there as well. That's such a great play by Dominic Patelli. You're going to your right. It takes a short hop on you. You pick it cleanly. And, Drake, you said it all. Throw on the run, and it was at Nolan Shanuel's chest. I mean,
it's not just that he makes the play. It's how easy he makes the play look.
Well, he had him out by 2 steps.
He made it look
I mean,
borderline routine.
That's impressive. Unbelievably impressive.
Good job.
In front of, a host of about a dozen scouts that are here, too, as Tremaine Cobb Jr. fouls one back. What do you know about Vacaville, California?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing at all.
Never even heard of it.
Vacaville up toward the north, Solano County. This is just what I know off the top of my head. Population's like 102,000.
I believe the Solano Mudcats of the California Collegiate League play up that way.
Yeah, probably
Sounds
so.
right. Now, what does that have to do with Tremaine Cobb Jr. or Zach Volker? Or
Cole Elvis.
It's Cole Elvis's hometown. A couple of notable people that are
including but not limited to.
Wouldn't you know, Arthur Adams, comic book artist.
Oh, yeah.
As you know.
As we know.
Remember Monkey Man and O'Brien? Monkey Man and O'Brien?
No.
You don't. How could you
Can't
not?
say I've heard of him, but
Well,
sounds right.
Pride of Vacaville. Own. There's a cut and a miss. Zach Volker gets the third out of the inning via strikeout. Tremaine Cobb Jr. goes back to the dugout, and the Harbor Hawks bring out a couple of bats, trailing 11-2, and needing a run or 2 or 9 to make things competitive here as we go to the bottom of the 6th. This, the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network.
I'm Zach Berman, and this is a broadcast of Hyannis Harbor Hawks baseball on the Hyannis Harbor Hawk Baseball Network. We'd like to take time to thank the Cape Cod Baseball League's corporate sponsors, including Mosquito Mary's. The Cape Cod Baseball League would like to welcome our new sponsor, Mosquito Mary's, a locally owned, family-operated business that provides all-natural mosquito and tick control services. Call 866-ASK-MARY or go to mosquitomarys.com. Mention the Cape Cod Baseball League and get your first treatment for only $29. We would also like to thank 99 Restaurants. The 99 Restaurant and Pub is proud to be a sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Visit your local 99 and try their famous colossal lobster rolls. Piled high on grilled brioche and served hot buttered or with just the right amount of mayo and celery with fries and coleslaw. The 99, always the real deal. Thank you for tuning into today's game in the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network, where it's a great day to be a Hawk.
Welcome back to the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network. Drake Toll alongside Zach Berman, Austin Dakuda. Bria Losick joins us on the baseline tonight. Harbor Hawks trailing 11-2, but just because there's a deficit doesn't mean folks aren't having fun. You got some folks dancing down there in the stands. The dugout's still pretty lively. You see guys as Wes Burton is having popcorn poured in his mouth right now.
You know, when you brought up Vacaville, California, I am extremely bummed you didn't bring up the famous band that comes out of Vacaville, California.
Philip Matulia.
I'm actually crushed. Famously out of Vacaville, California, the band Papa Roach.
Papa Roach?
Yes.
Yeah, Papa Roach. I got a buddy of mine that knows the lead singer of Papa Roach. There's a long story. There's a lot that goes into that. There's a lot that goes into the Papa Roach connection. Philip Matulia is stepping to the plate in the left-hander's batter's box. First pitch that he sees is a called strike on the outside half of the plate. By half of the plate, I mean it may have clipped it a little bit there. We've seen that called consistently tonight, though. Matulia down to the count, 0-1. Next pitch he sees, this one's low and outside for a called ball. Evens the count at ones. Philip Matulia this season, in total, hitting, well, he's yet to. He's hitting 125. He's recorded. I knew he'd recorded a hit that first night as he fouls one back off behind us.
He's got an RBI on the line as well in the season. He's put together some good at-bats, made some good contact. In fact, he's made contact both times tonight.
Yeah,
the hits will start to fall.
1 for 8 on the year. And like you mentioned, has that RBI from Louisiana Tech. The 1-2 to Matulia. Breaking ball outside, tough to lay off of. Good pitch from Hudipole.
Elvis remains in the game behind the plate, replacing Peter Burns, who has got a couple of hours now that we're 2.5 hours into this game, so probably a full game's worth depending on the night.
Yep. Matulia fights off another. That one back into the net. Near some of the interns down there. It's Sam Watson, who's running the Twitter. I'm not sure I was supposed to say it.
Yeah,
boy.
Big secret revealed.
Sam was running the Twitter and can only imagine the content that's coming out of tonight's game so far. 11-2.
Mr. Harbor Hawk.
It's tough to paint. Matulia, the 2-2. That one's in the dirt. Well, I'm not going to say. I'm not going to say that there's a massive chance, because there's certainly, it looks bleak down 9, bottom of the 6th inning here, but if you get Matulia on, you're in a solid spot to string a couple of things together. Following up Matulia in this lineup is Dominic Patelli, as Matulia's going to take a walk. That ball was not close outside the 3-2 pitch. Sends Phil Matulia to first and brings up Dominic Patelli. Patelli today, 2 at-bats, has yet to record a hit, and this is his first game on the Cape this summer for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. Adds just a new piece to this team.
Yeah, he does, and we saw it defensively in the last half inning, the effect he has in the field with that fine glove and the great range and arm, and now he can also put it together at the plate as well, hitting from the left side, a pretty good bat. Not as much power, but really just a good gap-to-gap hitter, and you'll see the outfield still respect his range a little bit, a little deeper in right field too, so excited to see what Patelli brings to this team.
Dominic Patelli spent last summer in Kalamazoo. This summer he is on the Cape. First pitch he sees is fouled in the net on the left side.
Well, that's an upgrade.
What do you think about that, right? We talk about Duluth and Kalamazoo, and when you play in the Northwoods League, you're spending one night in Bismarck, North Dakota, and your next night in Madison, Wisconsin. Now, I don't know if you guys know how far that drive is.
It's far.
I do. I'm just not going to tell you. It's a lot.
Well, look, I spent my last summer, 4 or 5 trips from Fremont, Nebraska to the great state of North Dakota, including 2 to Dickinson, North Dakota.
Right,
Shout
naturally.
out North Dakota.
Dickinson specifically, as Dominic Patelli fouls one off the right side. He's down in the count, 0-2 here, facing Hudibol, who's been in the game now for 2 innings. This is his third. He's thrown in total almost 50 pitches.
Pitched really well, too. A couple of shutout innings out of the bullpen, and really can't ask for too much more if you're Harvey Shapiro, Wareham manager, for your relievers. There is some action, though, in the Gateman bullpen. Another right-hander starting to throw.
That one is fouled off, out of play behind us to the left. Dominic Patelli staying alive on 2 strikes here. Think about this. Night 1 against Wareham, the Harbor Hawks scored 1 single run. They came back with 3 against Orleans, and they had 1 in a 1-1 tie against Chatham.
Okay.
Not a lot of run production, just 2 runs here on 5 hits for the Harbor Hawks. Coming into the game, Wareham had 8 hits in 3 games on the year. They have 9 tonight. There's strike 3 in the outside half of the plate on the 0-2, and that'll sit down Dominic Patelli with the backwards K looking and bring up the 9-hole hitter.
From Mount Hood Community
That is
College,
Riku
number 3,
Nishida. And I'm going to go out on a
Riku
limb and say
Nishida.
after an 11-2 game where the offense is just not produced for you, you put Riku Nishida back in the 1 hole tomorrow.
Could be the move. I mean, Shanuel's starting to swing the bat better, but he
Gotten on base twice.
But to put Shanuel in the 2 hole.
2 hole is probably
I like that.
the move there with Riku grinding out at bat to set up your Shanuel when he's hitting the ball. Might be your best hitter on the team.
Right.
I mean, we have a lot of talent here. Obviously, it's going to be tough to figure out who's really truly the best. But you put Shanuel in the 2 hole, Riku at the top of the order. Worth trying out for tomorrow. Maybe try to get some runs across. We've seen it before, but now that Shanuel will swing the bat, could be a little bit of a different story.
Riku Nishida with a cut and a miss. He's had a couple of those today. You don't see it very often out of Nishida.
Just one of those days.
Talk about Nolan Shanuel, though, and the season he was able to put up at FAU was something special. But had 11 stolen bases, caught stealing once. Not, out of this world numbers. And Nishida, obviously, with over 50 stolen bases, did have out of this world numbers. So having him in the 1 spot's good. And again, I love the idea that Nishida, he gets in a 2-strike count on purpose and fights off 3, 4, 5 pitches. If your starter is shaking in his shoes, throwing at Riku Nikita, watching him just pick that leg up, there's so much that goes into that. He sends one right back up the middle and past the glove, the diving shortstop. Hausinger with a single for Riku Nishida, and now 2 on. Machuli at second.
First baseman from
Riku
Florida
Nishida at
Atlantic,
first, and
number
Nolan
12,
Shanuel up.
Nolan Shanuel.
Here's your chance to produce a run. You got a chance to see it here almost as if they were batting 1-2 with Shanuel following up Nishida. A couple guys on base for Nolan, and as you mentioned, Zach, he swung the bat well tonight. He's got on base with a single, 1 for 3, and he has also scored a run.
You just got to do your best here to kind of just forget about the score. If you can.
Resident positive. What was it? Resident optimist?
Resident optimist.
Zach Berman?
My mom would disagree with me. But
Right.
you just got to try and forget about the score, get the bat on the ball, and
Just playing catch.
just playing
Swing
catch.
level,
And then
see it, hit
next
it.
thing you know, one run
Honestly,
could become a couple.
not even that hard.
I mean, coming from someone that was not particularly good at the sport of baseball, there's a strike.
Called strike. Nolan Shanuel stepping to the plate. This question is solely for Austin Dakuda, because
Oh,
I know
boy.
that Zach Berman knows the answer.
Okay.
Austin, our friend Nolan Shanuel played last summer in Bethesda. You tell me the mascot for Mr. Shanuel.
I can't even tell you where Bethesda is.
All right.
Never mind the
It's
mascot.
actually a couple towns away from where our director of broadcast, Harrison Myers, grew up.
1-1 count, 1 out. here.
Maryland? Is that-
Yeah.
oh, there we go.
Bethesda, and I will now give it to Zach Berman, who certainly knows
It's the big
mascot.
train.
That is right, the Bethesda Big Train. I think it's singular. I am
It
almost
is
positive.
singular.
It's singular, okay. Shanuel
A
swings and
singular
misses.
train, okay.
The
There
off
aren't
speed.
any teams.
There's
in
only one
our
player.
league.
Only one can be the big train.
There's
The
only-
rest-
That's a nickname we'll see one day at the big league
the big
level.
train, yeah.
There's
Big train.
only there aren't any teams in our league, the Cape League, that don't have an S at the end. Are they?
Firebirds.
No.
The Gatemen don't. So
Hey, Gateman.
there you go.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Plural, but no S. They got away with one there.
It's sneaky.
1-2 count on Nolan Shaniel. Shaniel takes the off speed, dribbles it right to second base, right the dish to second, get the out there. Shaniel safe at first, throw gets away, and the Harbor Hawks will score a run. Philip Matulia comes around from third, touches home plate standing. Riku Nishida trots back to the dugout, as does Matulia. One of those has garnered the Harbor Hawks a run, and it's now 11-3 with Shaniel on first, and that brings up the three, make it the two-hole hitter, DH Justin Hyannis.
Man, Riku's got the biggest smile on his face right now. I mean, once again, I love the vibes of this team.
Good vibes. Some
Vibes are good.
would say. Which, well, on a night like tonight, vibes are a good thing to have.
Especially with this cold front moving through. I almost got my winter
It's
hat
frigid.
on my car.
It is frigid.
All my winter
It's
stuff's
an
back in
appropriate
school.
word. A lot of wind here, too, sitting at about 48 degrees.
Is it? No, it's not. Is
Well,
it?
according to the Chatham thermometer.
It is 65 right now.
65.
What's the
Feels
real
like
feel, though?
48,
Yeah,
yeah,
the
real
real
feel
feel is what you
30.
need. That's
And it depends on where you're
Okay.
from. Real feel in Texas, this is below freezing. That pitch gets away from the catcher Elvis. And advancing to second base goes the leadoff hitter Nolan Shaniel. Justin Hyannis now with a hit will likely score Shaniel and can pull this game within at least 7 runs.
Would be a season high in runs.
real feel
Single game
64.
high.
So.
64. The wind.
Yeah, I
The
don't
wind's getting
know.
me. You can see a lot of the fans have started to stand up. Those that are still here at McKeon Park, pretty good contingent stuck around for this game.
It was a really good crowd to start the game.
Yep.
And
I remember the first kind of
3-0
chilly day
count,
we
too.
had here. Which,
You
I mean,
mean
for me,
every day we've had
which for
here?
me is temperate. We were up at
Right.
practice, and Drake comes up to me, of course, resident. Is Arkansonian or
Arkansan.
Arkansan? Okay.
Yeah.
And he looks at me and goes, Zach, it's cold.
3-0 is a ball, and now you have
And I-
2 aboard.
I checked the temperature. It's 70 degrees.
3-hole hitter Rocco Pepe coming up. A little bit of light tower power from Rocco. It was 70, but there was a light breeze. You get in the shade, and it doesn't feel great. It's not comfortable. It's not comfortable.
Third baseman.
Well, here's
for
a good
House,
spot for
this is
Rocco,
number
though.
2,
This is a good
Rocco
spot for him to
Pepe.
put together another good at-bat. He hit the ball pretty hard in his last at-bat. Unfortunately, it was right at the second baseman, Blake Wright. And, well, here comes Harvey Shapiro for what might just be a pitching change.
Yep. Rocco Pepe has a 286 average in total on the season. He's going to have base runners in Hyannis at first base and Nolan Shaniel at second. And that will do it on the day for Hudipol. Hudipol, 2 2/3 innings pitched. Through 60 pitches, 36 strikes, 24 balls. Ends the game with a 3.37 ERA on the year. And when we come back, there's a pitching change here on the Cape. Wareham calls to the bullpen with a 11-3 lead in the bottom of the 6th inning with 2 on and 2 out on the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network.
I'm broadcaster Austin Dakuda, and this is a broadcast of Hyannis Harbor Hawks baseball on the Hyannis Harbor Hawk Baseball Network. We'd like to take time to thank the Cape Cod Baseball League's corporate sponsors, including the Yawkey Foundation. Tom and Gene Yawkey were passionate about the game of baseball. Over their 7 decades as owners of the Boston Red Sox, the Yawkeys greatly invested in youth and amateur athletics in our community. They recognize the important skills baseball can bring to players both on and off the field: cooperation, respect, teamwork, friendships, and confidence. The Yawkey Foundation has been proud to support the Cape League for more than 25 years. The Better Business Bureau. The Better Business Bureau is partnering with the Cape Cod Baseball League this year to help you find a trusted business at bbb.org. Thank you for tuning in to today's game in the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network, where it's a great day to be a Hawk.
Well, I am hooked on a feeling.
Are you high on believing?
I
We're
don't know.
commentating a baseball game,
Not
so
sure if I can say that legally from the
yeah,
microphone.
that's what I was going to say. We're
That's kind of a stretch. Thank you for asking, though. At least we got the clarification out of the way that I am not that. The new pitcher
Good song choice.
in the game for, you got to give something to boost a little morale here, which to say that is the morale is as high as you'll find any baseball club who's trailing 11-3 in a game. sure the rest of the league is gawking at this one. You have 3 teams tied for the number 2 spot in the West, which will certainly change, obviously, after tonight, but all 3 were tied at 1-1-1. How often do you have a 10-team league where 5 teams are 1-1-1?
That is only the Cape League in the year
Through the course of 3 games.
2022.
Looks like we got Patrick Harrington on the mound, the right-hander from Northeastern University. Already made 1 appearance on the year. It was a clean inning of work, and he struck out a batter.
Yeah, you know what they call it? I'm not. Patrick Harrington.
Isn't that a golfer's name as well?
Do you know what they call Patrick Harrington? Patrick Harrington.
Yes, they do.
Well, here comes Pepe again, guys,
Yeah.
and he's swung the bat a couple of times, as I mentioned, really well so far in this game and overall in the season. See if he can put something together in this at-bat. Welcome in, Mr. Harrington.
Pepe takes a fastball eye level, leans back to get out of the way. It's a 1-0 count. He's ahead.
If Jew's Rabbit hits it out, all of a sudden it's a 5-run game. And then, I'm not saying a comeback
Watch
is
out,
likely,
Zach. Where are we going with this?
but it's definitely,
Zach.
but it's definitely
It's
possible.
the miracle of baseball. There's no timer. You do whatever you want out here. The 1-0 to Rocco Pepe from Harrington. Dealing from the stretch with a runner on first and second. Arborhawks trail it by 8. The pitch to Pepe. Takes another one eye level. That one well out. And Elvis, the catcher, jumps up to grab it. Now 2-0 Pepe ahead.
Look, I will go this far.
Go. How far? Let's see where
the
this.
Harbor Hawks come back and
Okay.
win this game, I will review one of those peanut butter covered granola bars on air.
Would you not just do it anyway?
Yeah, that's
I don't
Right.
know. It feels like a lot of peanut butter.
You're not really putting yourself in too much of a hole there, are
Drake
you?
did it without, you know. And
Right. Yeah,
It
was
feels like a lot
force-fed
of
to me.
peanut
yeah,
butter.
I mean,
By
I'm not a peanut butter guy, so that would be big
Austin,
for me.
you have publicly proclaimed you're a picky eater.
Yeah, I am. I'd say so.
I
I won't deny that.
also say that Patrick Harrington out of Assumption College, and I promise I'm not assuming. Hello. 2 out of 10.
Hey, at least you own up to it.
2 balls, 1 strike on Juice Rabbit Pepe. Pepe fouls one off. Dangerously close to catcher interference there. Elvis threw that glove out there pretty quick.
Well, I'll tell you, tomorrow, Elvis and Burns are both going to be exhausted. Tonight's been a long game for both of them, and Shapiro went and made the switch after Burns had spent the first 2 hours and 20 minutes behind the plate, and now, at this pace, Elvis is going to get himself a nice hour and a half or so behind there.
Yeah. Patrick Harrington, the 2-2 with 2 outs and 2 on against number 2, Rocco Pepe. Pepe swings and misses, and that'll do it for the bottom of the 6th inning. But the Hyannis Harbor Hawks scratch out a run there. Your score, Wareham 11, Hyannis 3. This, the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network. And we'll take it down baseline to Bria Losick.
Thanks, Drake. Last time these 2 teams matched up, it was all about the duel on the mound, but of course tonight that's just not the case. Coming into this game, Wareham and Hyannis represented the 2 lowest team batting averages in the league, but today the Gatemen's bats have erupted. I asked Coach Beatty before the game what was contributing to the lack of production at the plate for the Harbor Hawks, and he said he thinks that his guys are just trying to do a little too much, and said that he expects them to settle in sometime in the next week and isn't too concerned. Back to you in the booth.
All right, thanks, Bria, for the baseline update in the game as Zach Volker will come back out and throw here in the 7th inning. Volker has done a solid job so far, kept Wareham at bay at the top of the 6th, no runs across for the Gatemen, but if the trend continues, Wareham scored 4 in the 1st, none in the 2nd, 3 in the 3rd, none in the 4th. 4 in the 5th, none in the 6th.
It's an odd inning.
7th inning is dangerous if trends continue. Also like to welcome you into the booth, Drake Toll, alongside Zach Berman and Austin Dakuda for our Honeydew Coffee What's in the Box. Now, the press box here in Hyannis doubles as a storage unit for only the most random things. And our very first What's in the Box episode was a box of Q-tips, 260 of them to be exact.
I think it was more than it was
265, and there was 264 left. We
Yes,
had
there
used
were.
one.
Turns out our director of broadcasting, Harrison Myers, had bought them to clean our equipment with, which I guess he only did once with one singular Q-tip. But today we have our friend, still has the tag on it, Beanie Balls. It's a Boston Red Sox. It's got like hard eyes, too. He's got a big B on the Boston.
Let me hold this.
It's a Boston Red Sox beanie ball.
When you're wearing a Yankee jersey, you got the beanie ball thingamajig on.
What's in the box today is the shortstop Hausinger comes to the plate. He's been on the base twice tonight.
Man, I don't like these eyes. These eyes are
the eyes kind of stare at you. They really get you. He doesn't blink. He does not blink. He's got a button for a nose.
You brought up Shrek earlier. You know, when Puss in Boots gets like the big eyes, kind of look like that.
Zach, I'm not sure if I can agree with you there. There's a strike call from Volker.
This thing's like
that was a little bit out of my range.
Yeah.
It is. It's a little. Now, I don't know how it's been sitting up here for years, certainly.
It's collected its fair share of dust.
We did learn from Karen that it does not have a name either, so I have dubbed it Harrison.
You know what also collected a fair share of dust was
Zach?
The Red Sox championship trophies from the early 1900s.
That was a stretch.
That was
it was a stretch.
1
out of 10.
Swing and a miss.
1 out of 10.
Maybe less than.
Yeah, that
Volker.
was.
There's a swing and a miss from Hausinger. Big cut.
Hey, there we go.
Didn't touch anything. 1 ball, 2 strikes, nobody out.
1 out of 10.
It would have worked if we were pre-2005. In 03, that would have been great. That would have been spectacular.
Except they've won like 4 since then.
Who has the longest drought in baseball now? I guess
I wish
Guardians.
I would give you a half point, but I can't. By rule.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's the Guardians that have the longest drought in the league, right?
1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, the Guardians are
Texas Rangers.
The Rangers have never won one. So
Mariners have never won.
The Rangers it's quite a stretch. That's true.
I believe
unless you're talking about the Texas Rangers, the oldest law enforcement in America. They've yet to lose. 2-2 count on Hausinger. There's a ball inside. They're actually older than the Canadian Mounties. Tom Brady's jersey was stolen. I broke Austin. Tom Brady's jersey was stolen in Super Bowl 51. They found it it was in Houston. They found it, a Texas Ranger did, in Mexico City. Tom Brady's stolen jersey was found by a Texas Ranger. There's one, bounce right back up to Volker, off his glove. Patelli coming in, bare hand, throw to first. Whoa. Well, not in time.
Almost.
But the fact that it was, he was safe by 3 steps. But even still, Patelli was able to bare hand, throw to Shaniel at first. Impressive stuff again on display from Dominic Patelli.
Okay, I've been holding this thing for 2 minutes. Can I
I'll
give it up?
I'll take it. Harrison, what is the name for it? Beanie Balls. That's the same brand that brought you Beanie Babies.
There we go.
I can only imagine someone spent a healthy chunk of money.
It's got some heft to it.
It's a large thing.
It looks like one of the ones you get out of one of those giant claw machines at the bowling alley.
How giant would that claw machine be?
Oh, they have them. I'm telling you.
A lot, right? The first pitch that is thrown from,
have you ever won anything in the claw machine?
Hausinger turns into Hogan Windish left fielder at the plate. Now, I'm not sure that I played many claw machine. I feel like it's kind of a bad investment.
It is. It's a really bad investment.
I did almost play a claw machine in Virginia, though. Driving up here, 25-hour drive. Stopped at a gas station. They had a really cool looking claw machine. Hogan Windish skies. This one's going to get behind us. Campbell's tracking it down and making the grab. Solid play, tossing the helmet off there for Jacob Campbell. I opted not to play. It was only $1, but I had 75 cents on me. That's what I had on me.
It's too bad.
Well, that was Harrison the Beanie
What were the
Balls.
potential winnings?
I think it was like a fake watch, maybe. Maybe a lighter. I don't know. It was very random. It was like one of those, the casino claws. And speaking of casinos and gambling, guys, do I have something for you? That's the Massachusetts State Lottery. That's a good segue. Coming to the plate now is Max Anderson, third baseman, former Big Ten Freshman of the Year. Cuts and misses. The first pitch gets from Volker. Massachusetts State Lottery, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. The Mass State Lottery celebrating the games we love playing, from the baseball diamond to the many lottery games that help support 351 cities and towns across the Commonwealth. So here's to 50 years of winning and 50 more. You heard it here first, guys. The Massachusetts State Lottery will no longer operate in 50 years. They're closing up shop.
50 more.
Big if true. I see what they're going for there, and credit to them.
Well, 50 years from now, I think every lottery is going to be in like crypto or something.
That's probably a good
I don't know.
there, Zach Berman. There's a pitch well outside. A ball for ball 3 now. 3-1 count.
Well,
I think it's a 3-1 count. I looked away for a second.
It is a 3-1 count.
Okay. Trying to keep the scoreboard guys are on track. Volker will set the 3-1, I should say. That one's cut on and fouled off to the left side. The count will run full. 3-2, and I also say in the booth tonight we have what is now being instituted as Jersey Thursday,
Thursdays.
otherwise known as Jersday if you want to simplify it.
Thursday.
It's a funny story. It's funny to me, at least.
That's actually a day dedicated to the greatest state in the country. That would be the great state of New Jersey.
That's a bold statement and one that is not true.
Okay.
Take that Yankee jersey off. What are we doing? We are supporting the best team in the major leagues right now.
Volker's 3-2. This one is cut on to right field. Coming over to make the plays, Matulia. Really solid stuff coming in. Getting the grab is Philip Matulia. Good defensive play from the old right fielder. And Jersey Thursday, it was my idea. I'll give myself a pat on the back. I wasn't sure if I came in a little strong there. I didn't mean to give myself too much credit. As coming up to the plate after right is Ian Farrow. And I had tossed it around with you guys, and our director of broadcast gave the okay to do a Jersey Thursday for an inning or two. And so, sure enough, I thought, well, it's just a couple innings. I'm sure Austin's already left the house. No way he has a jersey. I show up, I'm the only one without a jersey. Thankfully, right now, on sale for those listening, those listening, on sale downstairs, the shop, $25 for an official red Cape Cod Baseball League jersey. You can go buy one right now. $25 is an extra. 28 was my number in high school baseball for the 1 year that I played before I got cut.
That's perfect.
And then to my left is Zach Berman, who has donned a Derek Jeter Yankees jersey. That one's fouled away. 2 strikes now. Zach Volker's ahead. Any significance to Jeter's borderline Hall of Famer, if that?
Yeah,
borderline,
very fair.
Overrated. You ever seen his stats? You ever seen his
defender.
Not the best defender. I will come clean, but
thank you for admitting that much.
But you can't have 3,000 hits and not be considered.
Austin Dakuda?
I mean, yeah, he's already up in Cooper.
Is that a Phillies jersey?
Who's on the back?
This is a Bryce Harper Phillies throwback, powder blue.
Rest in peace. Volker sends another one home. This one's fouled off on the right side. Nolan Shanuel is camping out. Riku Nishida calls him off. Makes the grab, makes it dramatic. Everybody takes a deep breath, skip a heartbeat. But the play's made, the third out of the top of the 7th inning, and nothing across for Wareham in an odd inning for the first time tonight. But your score is still Wareham 11, Hyannis 3. When we come back, we'll finish up that Jersey Day conversation and tell you a little bit about Honeydew Coffee. This is Harbor Hog Baseball on the Harbor Hog Baseball Network. I'm Drake Toll, and this is a broadcast of Hyannis Harbor Hawks Baseball on the Hyannis Harbor Hawk Baseball Network. We'd like to take time to thank the Cape Cod Baseball League's corporate sponsors, including Coca-Cola Bottling of New England. Cape Cod Coca-Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod Coca-Cola has been proudly refreshing the community for over 30 years, and we're honored to support the CCBL and many other wonderful organizations on the Cape. Fairway Financial. Fairway Financial is a proud national sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. If you want to hit a home run with your retirement income plan, visit fairwayfinancial.net and ask for owner and host family sponsor Steve Enzuoni, Cape Cod's retirement income specialist. That's fairwayfinancial.net. Thank you for tuning in to today's game in the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network, where it's a great day to be a Hawk. Welcome back to the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network. Drake Toll alongside Austin Dakuda and Zach Berman. Bria Lossik's joining us on the sideline. We'd like to thank our producers tonight, as always. We have Ella Gibson and Abby Stokes, man on the ship. One from Baylor and one from TCU. Does that feud ever get in the way? Oh, they're nodding no. They're nodding no. That's good. Tell you, Bryce Harper no longer plays for the Phillies, and our friend here, Austin Dakuda, is donning a Bryce Harper jersey.
Oh, he plays for the Phillies. He's going for back-to-back MVPs.
Oh.
Play is a strong word. Play is a strong word.
Hits tanks for the Phillies.
First pitch to Cole McConnell, the 4-hole hitter and center fielder tonight, is a ball high. On the evening, McConnell has fared all right for the Harbor Hawks. 1 hit, 3 at-bats. Struck out a couple times, though. His batting average on the year is 111, as he's got a 1-1 count on him now, opening up the bottom of the 7th inning. Still 2.5 innings of play tonight. A lot can happen in there, huh?
Ooh.
That pitch hit him. Cole McConnell will trot down to first base, and the first batter of the 7th inning for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks will reach first, facing Patrick Harrington. Harrington, a guy from Assumption College. I will come clean and say that I don't think I had heard of Assumption College until the last 6 or 7 days or so.
Where is it? I believe it's local.
I think you're assuming that. Hello.
It
Worcester,
is. It's in
Massachusetts.
Worcester. I've broadcasted a couple football games
Have
there.
you really?
Nice facility,
Have you
Division
really?
II athletics.
How about that? That's pretty neat. First pitch here we changed from Cole McConnell to
There is a
Jacob Campbell.
singular
First pitch to him's a ball.
notable major leaguer to have come out of Assumption College. Can you name that singular?
No
major
longer with
leaguer?
us. Yeah,
Chris
that's right.
Colabello.
It is Chris Colabello.
Okay.
Brian Kelly, the LSU football coach, is also out of Assumption.
Really?
Yes.
Never played in the Cape League.
Uh-huh.
He did play for the Worcester Tornadoes.
Yes, he did.
And then the Nashua Pride of Nashua. New
That's right.
Hampshire.
I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
We weren't too young. 2-0 count on Jacob Campbell, the catcher, who came into this game batting .400, the team's leader, and he'll take a ball chest level. 3-0 count. Now he's well ahead against Patrick Harrington.
Now, the Can-Am League wound up folding and became the
Wow.
Independent Frontier League.
Rest in
I'm
peace
sure
to the
you've
Can-Am League.
Heard the Frontier Leagues all over the place
Was the
nowadays.
Can-Am League, did that stretch into Canada as
Yes,
well?
it did.
Some of those
Is
Can-Am
that
teams.
why they called it the Can-Am League?
They had a
Don't
team in
say.
Quebec City. Now,
I got a brain
the
on me.
geography of this
Well done.
Frontier League it's ridiculous.
Worse than the Northwoods?
Yes. You have
Impressive. 3-1 count on
Hold
Jacob
on.
Campbell. Campbell takes a ball high and inside.
Okay, listen to this.
Just like
you
that.
have a team in Quebec City, the Capitals or the
Harbor Hawks have 2 on.
Capitale.
Well, it's a good
Capital.
chance here
That's
for the
Capitales.
Harbor Hawks as well.
So you have the Capitales and you have
Is it?
also the
No outs. Got
the
two guys
Eagles
on.
of
Tito Flores at the plate.
Cross Riveres, I believe. I'm not sure if I'm getting that right, but 2 teams up in northern Quebec, and you have a league that stretches as far southwest as
Texas.
Evansville, Indiana,
Oh.
Florence, Kentucky,
Arizona.
and Sauget, Illinois, which is just outside of St.
That's
Louis.
the one that's in New Mexico right there.
No, it is not.
Okay.
But really, really, really far-stretching.
How far? Give me an estimate in miles.
Almost as far stretching as
Quebec
trying to
City
get
to
more out
St.
of the
Louis.
Can-Am League. How you doing?
Hello, Austin Dakuda. That mic's hot.
That's a
That
7 out of
mic's
10.
hot.
That's pretty good.
That was solid. A little mound visit there as Patrick Harrington gets an earful from Coach. That had a negative connotation to it. It might not have. It may have been like
No, it was very light.
not an earful. At the plate now for the Harbor Hawks. Tito Flores. Flores takes a big cut and a miss at that one. Flores, a Michigan guy who's starting in left field tonight, played his first game against Chatham on Tuesday. A 1-1 tie in that one. Guys, I don't know if you remember. It's been a long time since then. It feels like we had the day off.
It really does feel like that was a week ago, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it does. That night that Brandon Llewellyn, we haven't mentioned that on tonight's broadcast. It actually wasn't Brandon Llewellyn who threw 6 strikeouts.
It was
for
Ty
6 outs.
Langenberg.
Yes, it was. That pitch is in the
There you
dirt.
go.
Couple of Harbor Hawks are going to advance to
So-
second and third. Now 2 in scoring position and nobody out here in the bottom of the
Why
7th.
don't we explain
put a
what
little rally
led to
together.
that mistake?
Who do we throw under the bus for this one? I think we just go right out and say it. We've given the guy so much credit this season. We can at least be honest when it happens. Mistakes happen. Mazdak Darvari, the director
That's
of
on
operations,
you.
neglected to let the broadcasters know that Ty Langenberg was borrowing Brandon Llewellyn's jersey for the night because Langenberg had forgotten his own. So that do we blame Ty Langenberg?
No.
Ty Langenberg will actually.
We'll ask him that. He's joining us in the 8th inning.
Yeah.
Here's the 1-1. That one is cut foul by a couple of feet on the left
Heads up.
side there.
Well, now that I can say it, Ty Langenberg was absolutely disgusting on Tuesday night.
Could you not say it earlier?
Well, I had told the audience on Tuesday night that Brandon Llewellyn was disgusting.
Okay, but now you can say
It was,
I see
it was a
what's
changeup. Bria Losick interviewed Ty after the game, and it was the changeup he was throwing about 70% of the time. He
Yeah.
had such a great feel for it, and we'll ask him about that in a little bit.
1-2 count on Tito Flores. The left fielder from Michigan with a hit could score 2. Harbor Hawks trail 11-3 in the bottom of the 7th. Flores fouls one off the right side. That game against Chatham, the Anglers scored a run in the bottom of the first inning, and that's the last time they crossed the plate. Harbor Hawks scored in the 3rd, and that was the last time either team crossed the plate the rest of the night.
How about that catch by Rocco Pepe that saved a run, likely saved a loss?
Well, Garibay Jr.'s catch in left
Jr.'s
field
catch.
as well. A lot of great defensive plays in that one. Not Peter Burns, who is a great infielder, but
Brown.
Marcus Brown
Marcus
at
Brown.
shortstop in that game was electric. As there's a 1-2 pitch. That one's eye level again. This time,
I remember the second he made a great play. We went to break, and you looked at me and said, "Major leaguer."
absolutely.
Without a doubt.
Marcus Brown just has the smooth. There's stuff you can't teach, right? There's the mechanics you can't teach, and a lot of that comes with how well a guy is able to make a play effortlessly, seemingly effortlessly. 2-2 to Tito Flores. He'll pop one up on the infield. Coming in a second baseman right. Right calls everybody off and makes the grab. Flores retired, and that'll bring up now coming behind him in the order the right fielder, Philip Matulia. Just made a solid play in right. Matulia, the pride of Louisiana Tech, comes to plate batting this season, 125 on the Cape in a couple of games so far for him. Had a hit against Wareham in the opener. Did not play against Chatham on Tuesday. I say that he didn't start against Chatham, but ended up coming in at first base late in the game. And still in a position where a hit would score 2. And Jacob Campbell standing at second base right now. He'll take a ball high. Matulia, the first pitch that he gets from Patrick Harrington. Cole McConnell on third. Jacob Campbell on second. One out here, bottom of the 7th. We are joined in the booth by our good friend, the Beanie Balls Harrison, Boston Red Sox fan. The ball taken outside. Now a 2-0 count on Matulia. He's got a belt on, too, a printed-on belt. They really didn't. they took some attention to detail here, didn't they?
No.
Got a good round figure. 2-0 count on Matulia. Phillip takes a ball low, threatening a bases-loaded scenario to bring the newcomer Dominic Patelli from Michigan to the plate. There's the crowd. You hear me? A little chatter down there. You hear the guy in the dugout. Getting some good stuff. Matulia. The 3-0 is a called strike on the outside part of the plate. Now, full disclosure.
Yeah.
The crowd level being there, perfectly fine. That is until the PA system, the new PA system, cracks through the night here in Hyannis. And at that point, things get dangerous with the crowd mic down there. Matulia takes a big cut and a miss on the fastball from Patrick Harrington.
He was looking for. The Hawks haven't hit a homer at home yet this year.
No, they haven't. You know, there have not been. I was checking the leaderboards today for home runs in the Cape League.
Not been many.
There have not been many. Stat leaders right now, home runs in total, there have been 7, and no one has hit more than 1. There have been 7 home runs across the Cape, meaning not all teams have seen a player take 1 yard this year. 3-2 count. It's gone full on Philip Matulia with 1 out in the bottom of the 7th, 2 on. He cracks one on the left side of the field, and an easy play. A little can of corn for the third base, and Max Anderson coming over and making it. Now 2 outs and still 2 on. The new guy, Dominic Patelli, comes to the plate. They call him Dom. Out of Miami, the shortstop.
From Miami, number 36. Dom.
There it is. There it is.
It's just.
Uh-huh.
You have to wonder if, sometimes when you're really struggling with runners in scoring position.
As this team is right now.
Is it a mental block? Is it,
Is it wooden bat?
I think it's
Is it wooden bats? Is it, do you feel the pressure mounting? Do you get in your own head a little bit?
Well,
It's still early.
I will agree with
it's still
Austin on
early.
this one. And the fact
Probably
that
the wood bats.
you think, okay, you can't make the wood bat excuse when Wareham has 11 runs.
Of course.
Hyannis has walked 9 guys.
That's a problem. It's not exactly Wareham is. They're playing a good game today, right?
They do have 10 hits.
But
they do.
We have given them 9 extra runners that have, in turn moved into scoring position or advanced on other plays. So a lot of it is being helped out by that.
Well, it's all a matter of what you do with those runners in scoring position.
This guy's one into the bullpen on the left side for Hyannis. It's well foul, and he'll be down in the count 0-1, but stay alive.
Here comes another ball from the Wareham bullpen. That is the 3rd of the inning.
Good counting. Thank you for keeping up, tracking that.
Riku
The things that you notice
backpedals,
in an
chucks it back to
11-3
the-
game in the 7th inning, right?
Of course. What else do you notice?
The wind has completely died.
Yes, the wind.
There's no fog.
I noticed Don Patelli chokes up about a ½ inch on the bat.
He's wearing that orange sleeve on the right. He's got a compression sleeve on his right arm, but it's not Hyannis Harbor Hawk orange.
You have to think it's
Miami.
Miami
Very
Hurricane
distinct
orange.
Miami orange. the U, if you will. 0-2 count after a fastball is taken for a strike on the outside part of the plate. He's got his orange cleats, orange compression sleeve, orange gloves. I think he's got orange tape on his bat.
Of course, the U, former home of one of the most decorated college baseball players ever, Alex Rodriguez.
As a check swing, ball gets away from the catcher Elvis, but it bounces right back to him, and staying put at third base is Cole McConnell. 1-2 count now after the fastball high, and there is no action in the Harbor Hawk bullpen, aside from one player who is laying down entirely, pretty much on the baseline.
Stretching a bit.
Getting some stretches in. That's a sight. There is action right now in the Wareham bullpen. It's tough to say the word bullpen. There is some action on a mound of dirt on the right field side in foul territory.
The arm
It's
barn.
a bullpen.
The arm barn.
Oh, didn't we have that discussion months ago?
That was
Patelli
PETA.
takes outside.
Months ago.
PETA didn't want it to be called the bullpen anymore.
That's right.
And then
that's
they
right.
suggested it was called the arm barn.
I remember where I was. I got that. I was
It's
at
funny
at
to
Kennedy
me,
Airport.
right,
And I got
that
that
they
message in Slack. I think it was from either you or Harrison,
Yeah.
saying you should refer to the bullpen as
But
the
they
arm
went
barn.
with, they
one
went with
game.
barn as if, as if baseball fans are really passionate about keeping some kind of animal
Oh,
reference.
here we
and
go. Got a balk.
A balk is called on Patrick Harrington. Thank you very much for the RBI. That'll send
then.
Cole McConnell to the plate. The Harbor Hawks add another run, and now officially have scored the most runs they've chalked up this season. They've got 4. Your score now 11-4.
Well, you take him how you can get him.
Standing at third base is Jacob Campbell. The 2-2 to Patelli. That was in the dirt. Campbell's coming home. There'll be no contention. The Harbor Hawks have 2 runs across without touching the baseball thanks to a balk and a wild pitch. And that is the second crooked letter they put up in an inning in this ball game. It's 11-5. Harbor Hawks trail by 6 here. And a lot of pressure is taken off of Dominic Patelli, who has a full count at 3-2, but now nobody on. If he gets a hit, it'll just try to spark a 2-out rally. The pitch to Patelli. This one skied into left field. Going back is Windish. Windish camping out up under it, makes the grab. But the Harbor Hawks grab a couple of runs in the bottom of the 7th. Your score, Wareham 11, Harbor Hawks 5. When we come back in the 8th inning, we are joined by Ty Langenberg. This, the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network.
I'm broadcaster Austin Dakuda, and this is a broadcast of Hyannis Harbor Hawks baseball on the Hyannis Harbor Hawk Baseball Network. We'd like to take time to thank the Cape Cod Baseball League's corporate sponsors, including the Yawkey Foundation. Tom and Gene Yawkey were passionate about the game of baseball. Over their 7 decades as owners of the Boston Red Sox, the Yawkeys greatly invested in youth and amateur athletics in our community. They recognize the important skills baseball can bring to players both on and off the field: cooperation, respect, teamwork, friendships, and confidence. The Yawkey Foundation has been proud to support the Cape League for more than 25 years. The Better Business Bureau. The Better Business Bureau is partnering with the Cape Cod Baseball League this year to help you find a trusted business at bbb.org. Thank you for tuning in to today's game in the Cape Cod Baseball League.
All right. And
I'm Sideline reporter Bria Losick, and this is a broadcast of Hyannis Harbor Hawks baseball on the Hyannis Harbor Hawk Baseball Network. We'd like to take time to thank the Cape Cod Baseball League's corporate sponsors, including Cape Cod 5 Cent Saving Bank. Cape Cod 5 is proud to be a long-standing supporter of the Cape Cod Baseball League and its contribution to the local economy as a treasured summer attraction. Cape Cod 5 is a community bank serving customers throughout Cape Cod, the islands, and southeastern Massachusetts. Founded in 1855, the bank's mission is to enrich the lives of those it serves while contributing to the health and vitality of its communities. Cape Cod 5 provides a full range of banking solutions, including personal and business banking, residential mortgages, investment management, and trust services, and Coca-Cola Bottling of New England. Cape Cod Coca-Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Please remember to recycle your empty bottles, cans, and all other recyclable materials. Thank you for tuning in to today's game in the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network, where it's a great day to be a Hawk.
Ian Farrow is the first batter at the top of the 8th inning as Zach Volker's back out for the Harbor Hawks. In the first pitch that Farrow sees, a called strike on the outside corner of the plate. And we are now joined by the former leader in strikeouts for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. Until tonight, where Magdal Cotto threw his 7th. This guy recorded 6 strikeouts in 6 outs against Chatham on Tuesday. That's Ty Langenberg. Ty, thanks for coming on, and thanks for having a hell of a changeup.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me.
So, Ty, it seemed like that was the pitch that really was getting the job done against Chatham. I mean, in the end, was it the changeup that really helped you have such success against the A's?
I definitely think it was a changeup. I haven't had that much feel for it in a while, and mostly just because I haven't been able to throw it as much as I did in that game. So it was just really nice to be able to kind of pick my own pitches. And once I figured out that I was really comfortable with that pitch, I just stuck with it. And Poncho and I definitely ran with it, and it just worked really well.
Yeah, punch out to Faro too will bring up Clark.
I feel like you have to ask, how did the whole jersey thing transpire?
This is good.
Yeah, I just forgot my jersey. It's a little embarrassing to say that, especially, I'm not 10 anymore. But, yeah, I just forgot my jersey. And
hey, happens to the best of us.
Yep, so Brandon was nice enough to –
You remembered your jersey tonight, Zach Berman.
Of course I did. How could I not?
But Brandon was just nice enough to lend me his jersey before the game, and I just kind of took it on, I guess, for the rest of the game.
Trust us, Brandon got plenty of credit for that. Brandon got 6 strikeouts.
So I've heard.
Not just from us, some point streak.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, Ty, what do you do during the game to keep yourself occupied out in the bullpen? It can get a little bit long out there, maybe a little boring at times. I
mostly do stretches. Every half inning is a lot of stretching. I try not to think too much. If I just, find myself overthinking anything, I just go for a quick jog. But usually stretches keep me occupied out there, and then really just keep me in the game. So
I always love to ask, do you have any weird superstitions, pregame rituals? Everybody's got something.
I don't know about superstitions, but I really hate it when people, touch me. I guess that's something a little weird, but –
No, that's fine. That makes complete sense.
That makes sense.
Catch is made by Cole McConnell in center field. Volker is retired 2 here in the top of the 8th. Again, Drake Toll alongside Zach Berman. Austin Dakuda. We're joined in the booth by pitcher Ty Langenberg of the Harbor Hawks. Ty,
number 13,
are you a
Connor O'Brien?
chocolate chip granola bar guy, or are you a chocolate chip granola bar with peanut butter guy?
No peanut butter.
No peanut butter.
I don't understand it.
What's going on with that, by the way? Who started that?
Chocolate peanut butter combo. I mean, it's elite. It's best of the best.
Why is that a thing?
I don't know who started it. I did see it a couple of times yesterday, and then today it's been all over the place.
A lot
but
of things going on today.
I'm willing to bet it was Burton.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was Wes. Wes would do something like that, but yeah, I don't know who started it. I do think it's a little weird that people just like to. I mean, some people put so much peanut butter on there. It's just like they're eating peanut butter with the side of granola bar. But.
There's a line hit for Connor O'Brien into center field. The first Wareham Gateman aboard here in the top of the 8th. Volker behind O'Brien will have to work through Elvis, the catcher.
The catcher from UC Berkeley, number 6, Cole Elvis.
Ty, people talk about how Chatham is the mecca of, Cape Cod League baseball, right? It's where everybody wants to go and watch a game, and to get to open your Cape League season there in a tie ball game, was there any of that luster of just, they talk about tradition and baseball the way it was meant to be played? Did you feel that going out there?
Yes and no. I'm not gonna lie. I went out there and I was kind of numb. Wasn't really thinking about anything, but after that first inning, it definitely did kind of hit me with just kind of what I had done and how cool it was to be out here playing such great competition. So.
Yeah, but when you get on the mound and
this guy loves Chatham, by the way.
No, when you get on the mound, it's just another baseball game. It doesn't matter really where you're playing it or who you're playing it against.
Yep. Yeah, that's definitely true. It's the same objective. I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna throw my best stuff at him. Hopefully, get some outs, get the job done.
As a broken bat, Volker will come over, scoop, the flip to first, and Shaniel helps record the out. That'll do it. 4 up 3 down.
First broken bat we've seen by an opponent all season.
Yeah, and a big thank you to Ty Langenberg for joining the broadcast and for getting 6 strikeouts on Tuesday night, despite him not getting the full credit. Ty, thanks for coming on, and congrats on a great first start.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Again, that was Ty Langenberg. When we come back, it's the bottom of the 8th inning. Harbor Hawks are down to their last 6 outs, trying to score a little bit here and there and make up a 6-run deficit. 11-5 the score here on the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network.
I'm broadcaster Austin Dakuda, and this is a broadcast of Hyannis Harbor Hawks baseball on the Hyannis Harbor Hawk Baseball Network. We'd like to take time to thank the Cape Cod Baseball League's corporate sponsors, including the Yawkey Foundation. Tom and Jean Yawkey were passionate about the game of baseball. Over their 7 decades as owners of the Boston Red Sox, the Yawkeys greatly invested in youth and amateur athletics in our community. They recognize the important skills baseball can bring to players both on and off the field: cooperation, respect, teamwork, friendships, and confidence. The Yawkey Foundation has been proud to support the Cape League for more than 25 years. The Better Business Bureau. The Better Business Bureau is partnering with the Cape Cod Baseball League this year to help you find a trusted business at bbb.org. Thank you for tuning in to today's game in the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network, where it's a great day to be a Hawk.
It's the bottom of the 8th inning in the Cape Cod Baseball League. Drake Toll joined by Austin Dakuda, Zach Berman, Bria Lossik's our baseline reporter tonight. Harbor Hawks trailed in this one 11-5. There's one bright spot. Harbor Hawks have 6 hits and 5 runs. It's their best offensive output on the season here against the Gatemen. It's come in spurts, 2 runs in the 3rd inning, a singular run in the 6th, and a couple of them in the 7th as well. Scratching across 5, though, comparing to the Gatemen's 11. 4 in the 1st, 3 in the 3rd, and then 4 again in the 5th. Solid offensive night for guys that had struggled through the season. We were talking earlier about how only 7 players have hit home runs this year. When you look at the standings across the West, right now, Hyannis and Wareham are tied 1-1-1 on the season. Wareham came into this game having only scored 4 runs the entire season. They scored 4 runs in the first inning. They only had 8 hits the entire season. They have 11 tonight through 8 innings. First batter up of the 8th inning, the bottom of the 8th inning for the Harbor Hawks, is Riku Nishida. He'll stand in and try to get something going. He flips one to the shortstop, who catches. The fire to first is in plenty of time to get Nishida 1 pitch and a 1 out to start the 8th.
A couple of defensive changes here for the Gatemen, Drake, as Caden Rose enters the game in center field. We have now the 3rd catcher of the night for Wareham as Ryan Campos goes behind the dish.
They asked me to catch, but I said no.
Okay,
They
well,
went with
we're
Ryan
happy to have you
Campos
in the booth. And a new
They are
pitcher
too, by the way.
Oh, good.
They're also happy about that. Yeah, new pitcher.
As well.
And Alcock has come in.
That should round it off for the Wareham substitutions. Hyannis has remained the same for the most part, it looks like. We'll see if anything changes in the 9th inning.
At the plate now for the Harbor Hawks is the leadoff hitter, Nolan Shaniel. Shaniel takes a big cut and a miss. The second pitch he sees in the at-bat, he's down 0-2. Nolan Shaniel is a guy that we've talked about a lot as being the guy this season. He's 1 for 4 tonight. On the season, now 2 for 17, so a slower start for Shaniel, but he's one of those guys. It's this, old adage in baseball that just gets kicked around way too often that, he's due. But he truly feels like Nolan Shaniel is one of those that when he comes along will be an all-star in this league.
Absolutely. I mean, you see it right there. It's a good swing.
Hits one right at O'Brien at first base, who steps on the bag and records the out. Nolan Shaniel's put away for the second out of the 8th inning. Following him in the lineup will be Justin Hyannis out of Illinois. Hyannis, tonight, the DH. Seems as though him and Shaniel will trade off on those duties from first base to DH.
Yeah, it's a good way to keep both bats in the lineup, 2 first basemen, and keeps them fresh, too, alternating guys at first, get some fresh legs, still allow them to work on their defense here in the Cape Cod League, but you really want those bats, and that's a good reason why they've been in the middle of the order for all 4 games so far.
Jacob Campbell is the top on the team in batting average for Hyannis, batting .375 right now. Had the hot bat. Justin Hyannis is second, though, batting .308 right now for the Harbor Hawks. He stands in now ahead 1-0 after that pitch gets away from the new catcher. This one skied on the left side of the field. Max Anderson in foul territory. Camps makes the grab in a quick bottom of the 8th inning. 1, 2, 3 for the Harbor Hawks. It's 11-5. We go to the last inning of play. The good guys trailing by 6 on the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network. I'm broadcaster Drake Toll, and this is a broadcast of Hyannis Harbor Hawk Baseball on the Hyannis Harbor Hawk Baseball Network. I'd like to take time to thank the Cape Cod Baseball League's corporate sponsors, including Curry College. Curry College is where you go to become anything you want. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers with learning beyond the classroom. Explore undergraduate programs, NCAA Division III athletics, and continuing education and graduate studies, including fifth-year master's programs at curry.edu. Franklin Sports. The Hyannis Harbor Hawks would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again the proud official batting glove sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. Cape Cod, the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves. Thank you for tuning into today's game in the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network, where it's a great day. Welcome back to the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network. I'm Drake Toll alongside Austin Dakota, Zach Berman, our producers, Abby Stokes and Ella Gibson. Also our sideline, make it baseline reporter, right? Can we all agree? I think we've settled on baseline reporter.
Dugout reporter, maybe.
Dugout reporter's not bad. I like that. I'll give it an 8 out of 10.
I'm pretty sure that's what the Yes Network uses, inside the dugout.
Really? I didn't know that. Thanks for that's a fun one. I'm gonna start the Zach Berman. I have to start my Zach Berman bingo all over again.
Oh boy.
Do want to take time though. If anybody out there,
okay,
is
let me back things up and say you are not the first. You're not the first intern on this Harbor Hawk squad. Of course, if
I am not the first
if you
intern
haven't
on this Harbor Hawk squad.
To figure
What
out
a correct
that
assumption you made.
I am a walking quote book, seemingly. Last summer, of course. Now, for those of you who have not put this together yet, Bria Losick and I are actually co-workers last summer with the Fremont Moo. Fremont Move the Expedition League. She kept a Google document
with 3 locations.
Oh my gosh. She kept a Google document of everything I ever said in the office that made anybody laugh, which apparently was pretty often.
Where should I get my coffee tomorrow morning?
That is Honeydew Coffee. John, we do have a live fan feedback brought to you by Roll-A-Bump Limited. John Greenborg said, is it just me, or is the autofocus of the camera behind home plate driving everyone crazy? And John, it is also driving me crazy. That's something we'll have fixed tomorrow as the Harbor Hawks are on a 3-game homestand.
I can also confirm, looking at this chat,
hold on. And shaking and updating.
Hold on, go back down for a second.
Well, I got it. Maybe you're like me and your day doesn't technically start until you get your first sip of coffee. Maybe Tremaine Cobb Jr. is like that too. He's standing in the box right now and facing a Harbor Hawk pitcher. There's not Zach Volker. They have made a change, and it looks like Sam Majewski has come into the game for the good guys as the first pitch is fouled away. Maybe you're also like me and the rush to work takes too long to wait for your kitchen's mechanical barista, and that's where locally brewed Honeydew Coffee comes in. 3 locations on Route 28 in Dennisport, West Yarmouth, and right here in Hyannis. It's the most convenient way to start the day, but wait. You say to yourself, I don't like coffee, and that's okay. Honeydew is not phased. They offer iced tea, lemonade, sparkling water, accompanied by the best pastries, donuts, and sandwiches on the Cape. Skip the line on high prices at fast food chains. Enjoy the local flavor of Honeydew Coffee. The new pitcher, Sam Majewski, is coming to the game from Mitchell College. A really cool story, too. Majewski and his family are actually hosting a couple of Harbor Hawks. He just finished up his senior year at Mitchell College as there's a ball from Majewski, a 2-1 count. Just finished up his senior year at Mitchell College, and Hyannis reached out and said, we need somewhere to host players. And he said, well, I would love to host them, but I would also love a shot. And so they gave him one. Now, Majewski said that his dream as a kid was not to play in the major leagues. He's a local guy. He never dreamed of playing in the major leagues. He only dreamed of putting on a Cape League jersey.
And he's getting to accomplish that dream tonight.
And here he is in the 8th inning, make it top of the 9th inning, facing Tremaine Cobb Jr., the first batter he'll see as a player on Cape, saying he used to go to YD kids camps from the ages of 6 to 10 every single morning. In the summer, there's a cut and the miss.
I mean, aren't the stories where you have someone that has dreamt of doing something or accomplishing something forever, and then you finally get to see that person accomplish that goal? Don't those stories just make everything so special about baseball? I mean, sports in general, as there's a walk, but just baseball just has a knack for bringing the best of these
Shortstop
stories and these
from
people
Xavier,
out.
number 10,
And
Jack Hausinger.
it's always it's so cool to see someone like Majewski who grew up out here.
Yeah, definitely one of the cooler storylines on the Cape for sure. And so you won't see any of the synergy stats out there on Majewski. He's a guy from Brewster, so just a hop, skip, and a jump away. Nauset High School, 10 appearances as he gets a high fly ball. This one to Dominic Patelli, who trots out to center field, makes the grab over the shoulder. Had to make it remotely dramatic, and that puts Hausinger away.
Just want to say, I saw it in the chat. My fellow colleague, Jake Circus, currently the voice of the Western Nebraska Pioneers. I see the little Zach Berman stinks at Madden comment.
Wow. Bold, if true.
That is bold if true. He also doesn't let me play with the Chiefs.
Should
so
test that out. That's what we should do. And naturally, he's a genius then. Majewski, 1-1, 2 saves, 19 and a third innings pitched, 3.72 ERA, 28 strikeouts at Mitchell. Strong baseball school, too, as he throws a ball low here to the third batter he's facing this game. He goes from retiring Hausinger to getting Windish. Hogan Windish on the game today. It's 6th plate appearance. He's got a hit, an RBI, a couple of runs, a walk, and a strikeout.
Of course, just a friendly reminder, this is the first game of a 3-game homestand. We will be right back here tomorrow night, 6 p.m. first pitch as the Harbor Hawks welcome in the Falmouth Commodores.
Yeah, my good friend Austin Dakuda will be on the play-by-play. Ever heard of him?
I know him, I think.
This one's skied out of play near the stands. Folks are standing up trying to get out of the way, and they do. And there's still some Harbor Hawk faithful, and by faithful I emphasize the word faithful, that are sprinkled in through here. It's gone into blanket weather. The folks down there are all bundled up. A couple of them have some beanies on, trying to stay warm in the frigid cold. Oh, there's a snowflake.
And, of course, the last game of the homestand, Saturday night, 6 p.m. first pitch against the Cotuit Kettleers. And some guy named Zach Berman will be on the play-by-play mic for that one.
There's a called strike and a 2-2 count now with 1 out. And Cobb Jr. on first base here in the top of the ninth for Sam Majewski. Can Sam Majewski log a strikeout in Cape Cod? Make it on Cape Cod even. Sorry, Wareham confuses me, you know. 2-2 count. Majewski sets and deals. This one's lined foul on the left side. Over toward the arm barn of the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. We're gonna do it.
Let's do it.
I think we're gonna stick with arm barn.
I have to go deep into the message group to see when it was brought up we should use arm barn as a joke.
Majewski sets.
Hold on.
Coming from the stretch, he's got Cobb at first base, looking for a strikeout here. Sam Majewski deals the 2-2. This one's fouled off back behind us. Check swing and barely got a piece of it. Majewski's facing Hogan Windish, who on the season is now 4 for 13. Do that math. What's that batting average?
Well, you said it was 4 for 13?
Off the dome.
Off the dome, that is
if you really
4 for 13. That's like 307.
Can try.
This was brought up in November.
Didn't even look. Majewski the 2-2. That one's a cut and a miss. Sam Majewski records a strikeout on Cape Cod for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. And what a story. Growing up on the Cape, striking out the 2-hole hitter Hogan Windish. Sam Majewski making a little wave here in the 9th inning as a Hyannis Harbor Hawk. And you know, that just sends chills for that guy and his family.
That's a movie moment right there.
He works so hard. You know, he's a guy who grinds away at Mental College and had a really good season there and has worked hard all summer long here in the Harbor Hawk uniform. To see that happen, something he's dreamed of.
It's so tough to wipe a smile off your face after watching that. Man, I mean, you got to be so happy for him and for the entire Majewski family. Just to see someone get out there and accomplish the one thing they said they wanted to do more than anything else.
There's a foul ball off the right side. Majewski came over the first day that we were here. It was my first day at practice, and he comes over, and he approached me and shook my hand. Now, there aren't a lot of players who are going up to somebody who's not in a jersey and introducing themselves, and he said, I'm going around. I want to meet everybody here while I have the chance. Everybody here. No matter if they were interns, director of ops, the GM, the president, other players, opponents. He just wants to soak in this moment as much as he can. Now he records a strikeout here in the 9th inning. Just a
It's awesome.
Someone saved that baseball.
He deserves it.
That's got to be That baseball is going to be somewhere in the Majewski household for a long time to come.
What a story that you can tell his family for. Hey, you can't take that one away from him as he gets a high fly ball out of Max Anderson. Coming over is Rocco Juice Rabbit Pepe and making the grab, and that is the first inning thrown this season by Sam Majewski, the native of Brewster, Massachusetts. Going 4 up, 3 down, and getting 3 in a row away, including a strikeout to retire the Wareham ninth. Your score, the Gateman 11, Harbor Hawks 5. This is the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network.
I'm sideline reporter Bria Losick, and this is a broadcast of Hyannis Harbor Hawks baseball on the Hyannis Harbor Hawk Baseball Network. We'd like to take time to thank the Cape Cod Baseball League's corporate sponsors, including Cape Cod 5 Cent Saving Bank. Cape Cod 5 is proud to be a long-standing supporter of the Cape Cod Baseball League and its contribution to the local economy as a treasured summer attraction. Cape Cod 5 is a community bank serving customers throughout Cape Cod, the islands, and southeastern Massachusetts. Founded in 1855, the bank's mission is to enrich the lives of those it serves while contributing to the health and vitality of its communities. Cape Cod 5 provides a full range of banking solutions, including personal and business banking, residential mortgages, investment management, and trust services, and Coca-Cola Bottling of New England. Cape Cod Coca-Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Please remember to recycle your empty bottles, cans, and all other recyclable materials. Thank you for tuning in to today's game in the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network, where it's a great day to be a Hawk.
Bringing it back to the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network, and there's a new batter who's into the game for Hyannis and Austin.
George Athanasiadis.
Bless you, my friend. George Athanasiadis has come into the game for the Harbor Hawks. He will bat here in the 9th inning. That's something. He is going to be in place of Justin Hyannis. He will be in place of Rocco Pepe.
Attention, please, ladies and gentlemen.
And
for the Harbor Hawks.
Athanasiadis. George
From Merrimack College, number 4, George Athanasiadis.
Athanasiadis, okay. Sorry about that. George Athanasiadis from Merrimack. He had a pretty good season there. He's done a great job in the bullpen as the primary bullpen catcher so far for the Harbor Hawks. The bullpen guys have given him a ton of compliments. Ty Langenberg talked about his job in the bullpen. Wes Burton really getting to know George and what he can do.
Athanasiadis, what I'm going to go with. There's a called strike.
Athanasiadis, okay.
Athanasiadis, what I'm going with. I'm going to lock in my final answer, Athanasiadis. Takes strike one on the inside corner of the plate. There's a cut and a miss, and an 0-2 count now for Athanasiadis.
It's an 11-5 game, bottom of the ninth.
It is that.
There is not the entire team is up against the railing of the bullpen, of the dugout.
It's a good sign.
It is.
It's a good sign that we'll bounce back tomorrow.
Well, yeah, guess what? You play tomorrow, you know. You got to end the next day,
and the next day,
and
you play
two the
two.
day. Yeah. You play a lot of baseball. You don't have time
not
to pout.
Northwoods, not Northwoods level, but
no, right. They play doubleheaders every day.
Yes.
For 40 days.
They play doubleheaders every day, 40 days, and drive 8 hours between doubleheaders.
Duluth, from Duluth to Madison. Not even a pretty drive either. It's sorry. I know. There's a called strike 3 pitches, all 3 strikes. And Athanasiadis is sat down by Alcock. I get upset driving to Chatham. I thought Chatham was kind of a long trek. Imagine being in the Northwoods League.
Do you realize what a trip looks like from Fremont, Nebraska to Dickinson, North Dakota?
Oh, I do. I've been.
How far is that?
Multiple
10
times.
hours.
10 hours.
Through the night. We had a tire blow one night on the side of I-94.
Who's we? Is that the team bus?
We is in the team bus in which I was riding on.
You were making night moves. It's a foul off the left side. Night moves.
Who changed the tire at that hour?
Song by Bob Seger?
I don't know. I don't know who changed the tire. I just remember there was a big UFC fight that night, and a whole bunch of players and myself wound up huddling up around the
There's a sky ball, deep center field, tracking back, and making the catch just ahead of the warning track is center fielder Ian Farrow. Farrow. Do you guys ever hear that song as a kid? Whoa, oh.
No, but that's Caden Rose out there now in center field, unfortunately.
Okay, Alabama kid.
Alabama guy played
Former
last season
Harbor
on the Harbor Hawks.
He did. Hey, that's a good eye there, Mr.
Takuda.
Just mixing it up. 9 innings deep. We are currently at 3 hours and 35 minutes of baseball tonight.
That quick? Wow.
It's 2 games, really.
Oh, I remember. It was the Mayweather versus Logan Paul fight.
Yes, it was.
It was that night.
UFC.
You are right.
Exactly.
That was not
UFC
UFC.
thriller.
That was
Thank you.
not UFC. That was
Floyd Mayweather,
very
Logan
much
Paul,
so
UFC
right.
That was
260.
not UFC.
Jacob Campbell's at the plate. Campbell 2 for 5 coming into the game tonight. He is 1 for 3 tonight.
Well, looking at the positives of tonight's game, the Harbor Hawks
Please
have
do.
put together a lot of tough at-bats, right?
Right.
Starting with Philip Matulia at the bottom of the order. He's seen a couple of over 8 pitch at-bats tonight. Riku, as always, has grinded out some at-bats. Defensively, just the 1 error. Another good sign of a clean defensive game by Hyannis. And when you're Wareham, they made 3 errors. I mean, that's a pretty positive sign to look forward to tomorrow. And really, guys, it's been 3 innings where all the scoring's come from Wareham. Otherwise, there's zeros on the board.
Yep. The 1-2 pitch. Campbell fights that one off.
Hawks down to their final strike, so see if Campbell can extend, maybe pass it on to the next guy and keep things going.
Nicholas Patelli says that Dominic Patelli is horrible at MLB The Show. Possible relation? Maybe. Don't want to assume. No assumptions here, unless it's the college. 3 at a time. I don't even know. 1-2 to Campbell. That one nailed the shortstop. Pretty hard drive. Campbell is retired at first base, and that'll retire the Harbor Hawks for the ball game. The final score in this one, Wareham 11, Hyannis 5. Final score lines, Wareham 11 runs on 11 hits and 3 errors. Hyannis 5 runs on 6 hits and 1 errors. Austin, there's not too many positives to take away from this one, but you get to come back and do it all again at home tomorrow.
They do. They get to return home. That's one of the biggest positives. You're back here tomorrow night. You're also back here Saturday night. So the Harbor Hawks got to take the fact that they scored 5 runs tonight, a season high. They started to put some rallies together, right? 2 multi-run innings tonight. And it's a good sign to see some of the bats start to come alive, right? Nolan Shaniel had some good at-bats, made some good contacts. Philip Matulia worked the count a couple of times, had some good at-bats. And the debut tonight of Dom Patelli, he had a great game in the field, and we'll see if that can carry over to the plate, but it's going to take some time, folks. The bats, the wood bats, the players getting adjusted, and just give them a little bit of time. There's a lot of talent on this team, and I think it'll shine this weekend.
Zach Berman, ball game here, 11-5 final score, but again, the Harbor Hawks get to come back tomorrow, and you saw really good stuff from Magdal Cotto and a couple of those relievers that came in like Wes Burton and did their job.
I really don't think this game is anything more than a blip. It doesn't matter what the scoreboard is. You could lose 2-1, you could lose 11-5. It's going to look the same on your record at the end of the day. So go to sleep, brush it off, get back out there tomorrow, and you can be right back at 500 24 hours.
Well, we will be right back here tomorrow, 6 p.m. first pitch for your Friday night. Come out to the ballpark if able. If not, we'll be live on the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network via Mixler and YouTube, youtube.com/Harbor Hawks, harborhawks.mixler.com. Final thoughts on tonight's game?
Congratulations to Sam Majewski, man.
Yeah. And our roll-a-bump player of the game.
Sam Majewski making his Cape debut, a guy whose dream for this lived in Brewster, grew up in Brewster, and now got a chance and worked a clean inning in that opportunity, so made the most of it, and we'll see you tomorrow night with a bounce-back opportunity.
Beautiful story. Your final score again from McKeon Park. It's Wareham 11, Hyannis 5. Harbor Hawks drop to 1-2-1 on the young season. We'll be back tomorrow night with an opportunity to climb back to 500 for Drake Toll, Austin Dakuda, Zach Berman, Bria Lossick, our producers Abby Stokes and Ella Gibson. Good night.